Aye, we're live.
Smashing. Corner Central here. Yeah, Matt's doing well here. No, Danny. How about to throw in the else, is it? No, dear. Ahmad Diallo having a couple of touches there, looking pretty promising. He is about 5'2", though. That's an issue. Probably smaller than Angel Gomez. So is that us at live and visual and audio? Anyone there? Let us know if you can hear what we're saying. See us now. It's been a decent 11 minutes, you know. Malanga, two good chances that he fluffed, actually. Well, and John Mata, lovely. Right, easy. Good man. Slightly concerned that he's playing Bailly in this game. I mean, good man, Potts, best audio you've ever heard. Classic situation again. Fucking missed the goal. Jesus Christ. Alanga, good man.
How did you miss that?
Because I'm fucking watching you fiddle about with a camera.
Why are you watching
Put that
the
camera
picture?
up more so there's less body and more head. Right, so tilt her. No. Ah, well, that's fine. Tilt her up. No other way. Again. No, up.
Put me up.
Is it a wee bit more up? Because you can.
Yeah, but then you went about how tall the camera is.
No, just tilt her. No, the other way. Perf.
You say you can't be perfect. It has to be there right along that line.
There we go. So the ball from Dan James, Alanga with a lovely wee header. Do you know what? He should have scored 3. He scored 1. 3 chances, 1 goal. Not bad for a 12 or what did you say? Fantastic. Da 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 da. Danny James.
The problem is your seating position.
Well, I'm actually can't go any further, so. Right, don't usually score him while he's mucking about now. Wait till he's just down. Oh, John Madden nearly got KO'd there. Big Donny Van de Beek in number 6 position there, it looks like. Alongside Matic.
They got a full show of the gut today.
Hmm.
Now that's better. All right.
Good goal, actually.
Big
Oh,
Ant-
big Daniel James, son. Oh.
the best Anthony at the club.
Hey.
All right.
No.
Do.
Right, so
Anthony Alanga.
yeah.
Do. I just made that song up. Aaron says Big E. Big E. Boom. What's the bet today, lads? Mark, what's your bet? I don't bet.
I haven't done a bet on this game in particular. I've done the accumulator round.
I have a bet on, and it's Oh, I don't. If I knew betting more, I could have made a joke there. The bet that this kit this should be the last time we ever see it ever again, ever in the history of the club. It should be
Well,
retired in disgrace.
well, to be fair,
Can you bet
I
on that?
no, but I did think that we'd seen the last of it. We shouldn't be wearing it today.
It's possibly a positive sign that we're not going to see it on Wednesday.
No, we definitely won't see it on Wednesday.
Definitely.
Definitely.
You were worried about it.
No, not anymore.
Why?
Because it's fucking never end. Like you can't go in the European final wearing that kit.
I
No,
thought you got some information.
no. But I just know that they wouldn't have the balls to do it to us again. They must be embarrassed.
It's
Right,
just not in the right
right.
space.
There we go. Right in my mouth. Perfect. No complaints ever.
It's too far over this way.
Go on ahead, Alex.
Like that's what it was. Yeah, this has got the vibes of Leicester to it, doesn't it? This game.
it's even worse that they're wearing the white socks and the white shorts. Like it's this is it's I want to protest about it. Add it onto the protest and things. New kits, quick. Um, yeah, it is. I was gonna say actually, who was who's not who was playing or who wasn't playing in the Leicester game? Who's here today? Very similar. And I haven't even looked at the bench either. Have you done a bet on in this game?
I kind of like my wee Anthony Alanga song that I made up.
Sing it again.
It's just the do 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 one. Do do do. Anthony Alanga. Do do. It's very basic.
Who's in charge of making up the songs?
Um,
Do you know that Edison
if that
Cavani
was
wants
good,
glass? Always
if that
delayed
was
with
good,
glass.
it might just take off. Like it might just go.
So
It's
somebody
like
just has
viral stuff.
to make it up, sing it loud enough. Hopefully, somebody joins in, and there you go. You've got a song.
Yeah, you
I've
gotta
never
hope.
actually properly thought about how
The
those songs are made,
what
created.
was the one? The Ollie one.
Oh, is it the wheel?
Hmm?
Oh, is it the wheel?
Mm. Like that's just there was just one bloke just standing in the crowd, just going
Hmm.
randomly started singing it. So maybe if I was at the game today and started singing the do do do, maybe it might have something might have happened to it. But you just never know.
Yeah. As it is the final game of the season, I'm keeping an eye on all the results too. Leeds just went 1-0 up against West Brom. Alex Tellez, you missed that ball. And did Elanga for the first chance. Fantastic. Leicester beating Tottenham 1-0, which is interesting for the top four. I think all eyes are on Liverpool, Crystal Palace. Go on. Well then, Brandon. Is that Mike Dean today, isn't it? Looks like that recognised the ball patch.
So what are the other games today that deserve a bit of recognition? What's any games that
Well, the only thing that's on the
have
line,
something to play for?
the only thing is obviously top four, but Liverpool need to beat Palace, or well, Liverpool need to match or better Leicester's result. I think Leicester now beating Tottenham means that Liverpool need to beat Palace. At the minute, it's nil each, I believe. I haven't got a notification to say otherwise. So, um, yeah, the top four is basically resting on Liverpool's result with that, obviously the Leicester and Tottenham situation as well. And then I think the other big one is whether West Ham can hold the Europa League spot. That's basically what we're playing for. But it was now no longer. What can you get a live table? There's a player that was linked to us. No, obviously saying that's pretty silly because everyone's linked to us. But there was talk of him last season. Adama Traore. Would you be interested in that for the right wing? There's a right winger we forgot about.
Yeah, not this year. Perhaps last year we might have done it. There was a lot of talk about your man Sarr,
Ismaila. Ismaila.
Ismaila Sarr from Watford,
He's a
but
good player too.
he started off the season very poorly. Apparently, he's ended off the season quite well. But we've got Diallo now, so it's not really topic of discussion unless you're going to get somebody
Oh,
who's a
lovely turn by Donny.
first
Go
team
on,
player.
son. Drive him through. Come on. Oh, don't let that go, boys. Oh,
Dan James trying to be clever.
Yeah, that was actually really good play there from Donny
Somebody
van de
should
Beek.
just tell Dan, just not in your game.
There's a player that might be on our radar as well.
You wouldn't take a risk on him now after that big injury. Surely you wouldn't.
I don't know.
He was just on the cusp of good enough, but after a season-long injury, it's just United need something to go straight in.
Depends on what the price is. He's about to tuck in a wee honestly protein bar or something there. Is that live?
Yeah, they can't see this, but
No.
just looks as normal. Shade as always.
Jeez, are Everton 2-0 down? How the hell did I not get notifications for that? Shout out the live score for keeping me updated. I'm at the Diallo. Why am I so excited about this wee fella? He just started to be a flop, and I just hope he isn't.
Possibly got something to do with our
Right,
recent discussion
Yeah.
about just we're
Yeah.
gagging a bit for just a bit of a wonder signing just out of nowhere, aren't we?
Well, it's a wonder signing that costs us 40 million.
Not yet.
Aye, well, it's 40 million, isn't it?
If he's a wonder signing, then it'll cost us 40 million. Well, you're not going to complain at that point, are you?
No, but it's one of those ones where like you would need to be fairly sure because I know it's obviously add-ons and stuff, but it was still pretty significant. So I always worry about players that are that small. Like, what age is the fella? Is he 18? Like, he's tiny. Like,
Who we're referring to?
the yellow. Like, he's smaller than Mata. Like,
Put it like that. They don't see this, by the way.
Tuore is absolutely
Traore.
causing probs here. Like, corner of Wolves. City are smashing Everton 2-0.
Like it matters. Why does it matter, Mark?
Hmm?
Why does that matter?
Doesn't.
Wills for the corner. Goal cert. Oof. Juan Mata there with the dodgy clearance. But Juan Mata is the one, the first man on the ball there. Still not cleared.
Ooh,
Traore, that's a
there
corner.
was some lick on that.
Think about this, Mark. If you lean over to where you should be, let's sort of see where I am.
Nah,
Think about that.
that's daft as hell. Daft is clean. Oh fuck, that is.
It's terrible language. Just cover up your face then.
Go on.
The people can see it.
Come on yourself.
The live league. It would make a big difference if it actually made a difference whatsoever.
Nah, it doesn't make a difference. Maybe put on the second half on it when it's getting exciting. Yeah.
Donny. Oh, Ruby song. Ruby.
Imagine Palace got a result.
Bloody. So who are Palace playing?
Liverpool.
Right. So Liverpool are battling
For top four.
for top four.
Yeah.
Currently are in fifth.
No, they're in fourth now.
No,
Well, sorry, but yeah, based on the live table, yeah, they're fifth. But so basically what you need to remember is if Liverpool win, they're top four. If they need to match or better lesser results against Tottenham, basically is how it works. So at the minute, Leicester.
Hey, whoa, Traore gone down very, very easily.
Yeah, that was a wee bit embarrassing there.
That
Adama.
should be a yellow card for
your boy's
simulation.
25 stone and 35 feet wide, and he's just
Get to see this again.
He should be booked for that.
That should be.
That's a booking.
That is atrocious.
That wouldn't knock you down, Brad.
It's not even enough to pretend to go down.
No.
What? Yeah, do you want him still? Come back.
For 10 million, I'd take him.
Not for me, Marker.
He's better than you.
Fair enough. Didn't think I'd have to defend that today.
What do you think, Rich? Is Rich here today? Is he with us?
I'm not sure.
Um,
Hopefully
imagine.
he's still alive.
Oh, Sheffield United beating Burnley. Interesting.
Let's address the comments. Aaron's gone off on a madness here. He's done. Have you read any of these? No. Said he's done
No.
2.5 goals plus in 5 games. United, City, Spurs, Liverpool, Chelsea. Surely you probably lose money even if that comes out. 2.5 goals in every game. Is that right? I'm not a better person. He also says Niemanja. Oh, Niemanja. Oh.
He's
He says up a Hodgson's Barmy Army. Rich says Leicester 1-0.
yeah.
Spurs, Liverpool 0-0 Palace. Rich, do us a favour here. Make sure your lads beat them Liverpool's come a day, please. Aaron also says that's a grenade. Birthday cake, protein cake. I have no idea what that means.
He's talking about Jimenez's protein bar.
What's that?
Jimenez was eating a protein bar. And we were talking about it, remember?
I wasn't talking about it.
Well, you were.
But how does that even make sense?
It must be a type of protein bar.
I think he means that's a grenade birthday cake protein bar,
Mm-hmm.
not protein cake.
No.
He's not sitting there munching a cake.
Would you rather, right? Say about cakes, right? Would you rather? No, I can't do that in this stream. That's terrible.
Your dad's wallet.
No.
Red says B Day weekend a dream. Great day yesterday. Today is the watch along and 5 things deep plus Serie A CL places to be decided and League 1 league title to be decided too. I think that's tonight after the game.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Who's in running for it? I'm assuming obviously Paris. Who else?
Lille.
Leon, isn't it? No, it's not Lille.
No,
It couldn't be
Lille.
Lille.
No,
Is it
Lille, Lille are top of the league.
Lille.
Yes.
Jesus.
Let me have a Jeffrey.
Lille are a wee Tim Park club.
You ever heard of Port and Vuge?
No.
Ever heard of Top of 90?
Yep.
So the two of them, Port and Vuge, were like they were
Jesus.
they were the draw for that channel. There it is. There, Lille.
Lille. My God.
Yeah, the point ahead the last game of the season. A worse off goal difference, so Lille really need to win to be sure.
Well, I wonder if they do head to head or they do goal difference in that league. That's mad. Monaco have a shout there too as well. If it is head to head, maybe.
Lille have had a wonder season.
Who the hell even plays for Lille? I couldn't tell you one player, honestly.
And it says 8 o'clock kickoff for League 1. Aaron also says Lille win and they win the league. Yep.
Who's the Lille player? Who's the Lille player?
Which just tells you how shade Potch is.
Come on. Name is one Lille player.
The cross going in there. Yilmaz, also Jonathan David.
He's got the team up there.
Renato Sanchez.
I actually couldn't have named the player.
Timothy Weah
either
is
could
quite
you.
decent too.
That's mental.
Jonathan Bamba.
I didn't realize Renato Sanchez played for them. I thought he was for Bayern Munich. Or I thought he was. Or where was he?
He was at Bayern when he was like 18.
Where?
Sven Botman. You didn't know Xhaka was there? Do you even watch football?
Well, that's your boy Botman that we're linked with, isn't it? The defender.
Gabriel's there, ex-Arsenal. Not right? Isn't that him?
He plays for Arsenal now.
He plays for Lille now.
No, he plays for Arsenal now.
No, he plays for Lille.
Listen, Gabriel plays for Arsenal.
Why is he in the squad list?
I don't know. He definitely plays for Arsenal. Like, as in he's on the pitch at the minute for Arsenal.
I thought they got rid of him again because he was about 8.
Nonsense. He scored a header in the first game of the season, and it was a brilliant buy. Arsenal are embarrassing.
That's right enough. That's right enough. We were linked with him too. I was kind of disappointed we didn't get him. to
You'd
be
be
turned into be Shane.
you'd be disappointed to not get any centre backs because it's so exciting to get somebody else.
There's only so many Lindloss to go around.
Uh, I think the point's been proven about Maguire as well,
What point?
that we're crap without him. Not therefore he's pretty
Crap.
good.
We're also crap with him, so
No, we're not.
it's not a great point.
This also this if we win or draw here means we'll have not been beaten away all season. That's an important thing to keep
Amazing.
up.
I can't wait to. Is there when's the procession for that
No,
tonight?
but that's I think it's
Is the
something.
open top bus booked for
I know,
that
but
or
you
what?
you can you can you can be you can dismiss it, but it's a good thing to sit to talk about. It's a proper achievement. Never
Mm,
to not be beaten away all season.
mm.
Puts a wee bit of something into this game.
If we were smashing at home, it would be
Oh, like I'd rather win the
under
treble and all. What I'm saying
consideration.
is, in the situation that we're in, if we win this, it's good to keep that unbeaten record away.
Well, tell me this: if we lose on Wednesday, is it a terrible season?
Um, no,
It is.
it's not.
It is.
It's not because it's progress, officially progress, factually progress.
Is it good enough?
I'd be
Is it
bitterly
enough
disappointed,
progress?
but it's still progress. So if you're progressing, you can't
No,
really say it's a
forget
terrible
about
season.
no, forget about being disappointed about losing in the final. If now, if you can project your mind into the future, looking back at the season subjectively, is it a good enough season?
No, if we don't win, I'll be raging, and I
No,
think
forget about being raging. I'm talking about say a year down the line, you look back at the season. Would you think you're going to be saying, "Oh, should have done better"?
you're gonna say that every season, aren't you? But
No, no. Speak about this season. Is this objectively a bad season?
no, I don't think
If
so.
we don't win, even if
It's not
I
good.
think
It's
even
not
if we
bad.
win it, it's it's underwhelming. It's not good enough. The cup performance is shocking. The position that we were in the Champions League in the group stage to throw that away, shocking. The City have done the best out of a bad situation for the rest of the league, but they haven't won the league with a particularly impressive points tally. It's they haven't blown the league away, which has been the case over the last 3 4 years. There was times where the league was there for us to really put one foot into dragging out to the last game of the season,
Mm.
and we've fallen away. We started the season shockingly.
I think with the squad that we have, oh, it's a good ball. It was he was at Matic to Diallo. If you think about the squad we have, and if you think about our feelings at the end of the transfer window, i.e., terrible window, um, if somebody said, right, you'll get Europa League final, you'll win the final,
Hold on, whoa, 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 whoa,
and you'll come
whoa.
second, you'd be
So
like, nah, that's not no way we're finishing second. It's coming second based on where the start of the season that had taken it.
right, start of the season, the transfer window's just ended. We're in the Champions League, and somebody says, "Do you in the Europa League final?" You'd be happy.
No, you'd be like, if we're gonna win, if based on the rest of the teams, we're gonna come second, and we're gonna win a European Cup. I'd be like, that's pretty good. I'm not expecting that at all. We should not have finished second
Why?
because if Liverpool hadn't had shit the bed with injuries, we probably wouldn't be second.
Right, so that's not a positive on
No, what,
us.
no, what,
That's
no. What I'm saying is, if you look at the start of the season, to come second, it's like, well, that's bloody well good. Like
it's not
we
good though.
our
You've
our
literally
league.
just
No,
admitted
no,
that
no.
it's because
No,
Liverpool.
it's not because I'm saying we wouldn't have came second. Our challenge, our goal this season was to get in the top four and to win a trophy, and that's what we're going to do probably.
But that doesn't make it a good season just because our goal is so low. We've just about scraped a poor goal.
I mean,
The
just
goal at
about
this,
scraped.
well, just about
Fuck me,
scraped
we're
it.
second.
Yeah, but
Scraping it would
we're a
be getting in the
distant
top four today.
we're a distant second. There have been moments there where we could have put the pressure on and done something, but we failed. But forgetting the Premier League, second is obviously better than third. But if you take everything into consideration, it hasn't been a good season. It's been an all right season.
Yeah, it's been dead
Could have
on.
been a lot better.
Hasn't been bad, but it hasn't been good. It's
I think
dead on.
there've been more bad moments than good.
I think it's the happiest I've been in terms of being a United fan since Fergie. Like where you feel like it's going somewhere, you can see progression. Yes, you get really annoyed often, but I feel like we've been playing the best football, and I feel like there's been if we top it off with a trophy, we've got second already. That's decent for the squad that we have, especially with how disappointed I was at the transfer window because
It's
we did not invest.
good work from Diallo there,
Yeah,
using
it
his strength
was.
there, just absolutely bundled him.
Yeah, it's our ball as well. Yeah, I think in terms of season review, based on how Ollie wasn't backed in the summer, I'm happy enough. If we win the trophy, if we don't win the trophy, we can hide behind the progress. But I need the trophy, or I'll be
I
very
agree.
annoyed.
I agree. Ollie wasn't backed enough in the summer, but I also think that he hasn't done as much with the squad as what he could have done.
I disagree with that. I think Chelsea have a better squad. I think Liverpool have a better squad.
Forget about Chelsea, and Liverpool, United in terms of.
Tottenham probably have a better squad.
I'm talking about the players that he's brought in, the ones that he did bring in.
There's Liverpool 1-0 up.
B word. Donny hasn't been managed well.
We don't know that.
We do know that because we've
You
seen
don't
it.
know if Donny's been managed well or not.
We do.
You don't.
Because he's been brought on on the 89th
Yeah,
minute.
he might
He's
not
been
be
brought in.
in training. He might not be good enough to play for our team, and therefore that's why he hasn't played as much. We can't say he's been
You're
bad
forgetting about the
mismanaged.
times. You're forgetting about the times which you have agreed with, where Donny's come on with 2 minutes to go, and you're like, "What was that substitution? Was that a message?"
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
We have literally discussed this live on
yeah,
our.
no, I know that. Yeah, and it's never you never want to ever see a player who's looking to get game time to come on for 2 minutes. It's kind of like, but we can't say as a blanket statement he is being mismanaged because we don't know what
We,
goes on behind the scenes. We
you
just
do
don't know.
because the substitutions that he's been brought on, it's been as if he's like a 17-year-old and he's just trying to be blooded in some fashion.
Maybe that's how
Where
all he feels about him.
this is an international player.
If you can trap the ball these days, Brood, you're an international player.
I don't know what that means.
If you can stop, if you can control the ball, you get in your national team these days.
Don't know what that
To
means.
quote Roy Keane,
Um,
when you stop banding about internationals being an achievement these days, it's not apparent. Yeah, I didn't hear Keane's big
I didn't
rant.
hear
No,
that. No,
no, no,
Camavinga too, but he's been benched today lately, I believe.
no. Camavinga plays for
I just put the word today in there. It wasn't there. Sven Botman, who I mentioned, just off the top of my head because I'm just got that knowledge. Rich says absolutely terrible season.
It's
I
not
wouldn't go
terrible
that
season.
far. I don't. I wouldn't say it's terrible. Just it
If if Liverpool
could have been a lot better. Is the only thing I'm saying.
if Liverpool had based on where the owners and the leadership left us, all things being equal, i.e., Liverpool didn't have the injuries, Chelsea weren't terrible, Tottenham didn't completely bottle it, we would be struggling based on if you're looking on the squad. Like you have to give it to Ollie for actually making sure we didn't bottle it like all the rest of the teams and we secured second. Like you have to think about it like that and take off the thing
At
of
the
like,
same
oh
time, surely our squad is with all the extenuating circumstances, our squad's the second best squad in the league.
no,
Who's
City's is the best, Chelsea's the second, Liverpool's the third, Tottenham and us are joint for fourth.
Liverpool third only. Liverpool would be third after injuries, maybe fourth. Because if you take
They're
Van
certainly
Dijk
not
out of it,
second. Chelsea have got a far better squad than us, far better. And they've been. If you look at the investment, Chelsea were going for it this season. We were
yeah.
not going for
So
it.
if Chelsea hadn't have had
Fuck's sake.
one each,
Decent goal there too. Is that Semedo?
Big Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
Fabio Silva, the old football manager wonder kid.
That's annoying there. What's happening across the rest of the games?
My point being, if Liverpool were full strength this season again, we wouldn't have been second. Chelsea, if they had if Tuchel was in charge from the start of the season, we wouldn't be in second. Spurs are just butlers anyway. Leicester have been butlers apart from that one season. They always seem to buttle it somehow at the end. Arsenal are just a laughing stock, but I think second is kind of by default by the fact that the other teams around about our level have just fallen off a cliff completely.
And we haven't. So you have to say, well done, we didn't. Because our owners and our leadership threw Ollie to the Lions there. Because if all of those squads click and there's no Van Dijk isn't injured, Gomez isn't injured for Liverpool, we're struggling to get fifth. Never mind second. So we have to look at it and go, Ollie has went, right, the hell with you. I'm going to do it with what I've got. And unlike Tottenham, unlike Chelsea, he's held it together and he's got a second against a team that nobody in the league can beat at the minute, which is City in terms of in a league scenario. So the you have to say that he's done all right, and that's a what happened there. No, Neves is not happy there.
Going crazy here. Alanga taken out, but it might be a bit soft. He gets the ball. You can see why they're upset about that. It was a good tackle. You can see them giving all. If that was in the middle of the pitch, there's nobody's really going mad about that. Really,
it's Tottenham equalised there. It's not good or it's very good for Liverpool.
Aaron says, yes, good season. If somebody said this time last year we'd finish second and not a million points off top, well, you start the season not a million points off top, then it's a steady improvement on last season.
Agreed, Aaron. That's the facts of the matter. That's the facts. Of course, it's facts. Of course, it's facts.
It's not really,
Of course, it's facts. Just because you need to get into your head that we can't win trebles every season. You can't be disappointed if we don't.
Oh,
but that is what you're like. But you have an agenda against Ollie. And unless we win the league, which obviously we're never going to do, it's a bad season.
I'm going to remain silent until you take that back.
Bad season, he says. You have to say, like, you can't be unhappy with it because we're hardly going to win the damn thing, were we? You see these viewers banging up the 100 here. They're not hearing any agendas. Oh, big Joe Mara, go on, big son. Oh, lucky. Oh, Bree doesn't like that one. I hit him with a couple of home troops there, and he's went into his wee shell like a wee tortoise. Look at the wee smile on his face and all. We'll see if we can keep a straight face for the next 10 seconds, right? See if he means it or not. But there is. Big Donny. Oh, Donny is a one-touch man. He doesn't like taking a touch. He doesn't like running with the ball. He likes to dummy or take one touch, flick it on. Fair enough. Breeds agree on that. Oh. Breed's mic's broken there, in case you're wondering.
Alex.
Hey!
No, that's very unfair to say something like that. Very unfair.
No, but the negativity coming from you
no, it's
there
not,
was just it needed to be addressed a wee bit because
I don't think being unhappy with the way we're finishing the season is negativity. I think it's realism. We should be expecting more.
Right, well, so what did you want to win it?
Win something.
We're going to win
not
something.
Not Europa League. I didn't want to go out.
Did you thought we had a chance on this earth of winning the Champions League or the league?
If we'd have got through that group, in the position that we were in after the first 3 games, if we'd have got through there, it would have been a million times better of a season. Like second place here, we were within touching distance of finishing, potentially win the league. The whole 21 is coming months ago. Then that faded away. Then we sort of come back into it a bit. And the last 6 or 7 games, not only the performances have been shocking, but the results have been shocking too. And it's all been a result of poor squad rotation, poor substitutions from Ollie throughout the season. You can't deny that. His substitutions have been shocking game after game.
Oh, go on, big son.
We're sitting here going,
no,
what is
play
that
on.
substitution? What's going on there? And the man on the ball right now is a testament to that. An international, our big signing of the summer.
Didn't have any big signings.
Well, that was our biggest.
And there he is, just
testing. He absolutely fluffed it.
There you go. So maybe Ollie's seeing that in training every day and going, do you know what? Doesn't deserve to be in team. There you go. But then it's a bigger problem. So the squad rotation. Is that Ollie's fault or is it the owner's fault for not backing him and therefore he's no choice?
It's Ollie's fault. It's not. It's because it's not like he doesn't have any more players.
Oh, Villa beating Chelsea. No, Chelsea have confirmed top 4, haven't they? No, they haven't.
No. Be interesting to have a look at that.
I think so. Yeah, Aston Villa have just scored. Bridge, reckon your bird will get us a coffee.
Probably not.
I do get my mouth burnt clean off me.
No, Chelsea aren't confirmed.
So
Hold
Leicester
on,
need to
hold
pull
on.
their pants
I
up.
think this needs updated. Like, I think it's live, but semi-live. That's still saying nil each.
So is Liverpool going to third? Mental.
Still saying nil each.
Hats off Liverpool, like if they finish that way, like
Are you sure? It was 1-0.
yeah. Come on, the lads. Nice, Danny James. Go on, son.
Ahmad there.
Oh,
Great ball into the
oh,
front of Dan.
oh. Give it to John Matta.
Mata there absolutely busting the gut to get there. Dan James, pure end product as you would expect.
He's not there for end product, but is he?
Nice,
10 penalties.
nice little touch around the corner from Donny there.
See, I don't know if Donny knows where he is.
Donny,
Go on, son.
Penalty! Referee. It looks like it was contact there.
I'll be checked anyway, lads.
Ball's drilled in.
Pen-
Referee.
That is a penalty, isn't
That
it?
is.
Yeah, I think so.
There's contact there. It's. Oh, that's stone cold. That is this absolute Steve Austin. That is. It is. He goes down easy, but there's definite contact, and there's no attempt to get the ball there. Really. Surely VAR's on this.
No, they're checking it. Not surely.
This is definitely a penalty. If VAR's going to this, it is definitely a penalty.
Well, of course, VAR's going to it.
That's a penalty. Every day of the week.
He's tried to stay up as well,
How's that not a penalty?
but it is one of those ones.
That's a broken ankle.
But it is one of those ones where, like,
Not that could be a red card. Look at the way his foot goes. Look at it. Look at it very closely.
oh,
That's potentially a broken ankle. Forget penalty, red card, and penalty.
they're going to get him to go and check it, hopefully.
There's no way this isn't a penalty. And if it is a penalty, there should be more.
I just don't trust them.
No, who knows what they're going to do? But that's a penalty, and also that should be a sanction. At the very least, a yellow, but that should be a red card. The topic of discussion here
red
isn't-
card.
The topic of discussion here isn't whether this is a penalty or not. It's a penalty.
I think,
but is it a red?
No, I think it'll be a harsh red, but it not. Would it not be?
No, because the ball's gone, and if you look when the defender's foot hits Donny's foot, and then it plants about 6 inches away from when the contact's made,
Yeah.
he's forced Donny's ankle in a weird angle into the floor, so his studs are up.
Yeah.
And it's just a bad tackle. Maybe it's not a red, but it's definitely a penalty.
Isn't it mad how we didn't?
But can you give a yellow for that if you're given a penalty? That's shocking.
That is quite bad, actually.
That's shocking.
Oh, that was.
That's like you've seen them resulting in month-long injuries, 2, 3, 4 months.
To be fair, like, what's he going to do here? Penalty, good.
Penalty given, is it?
Yeah.
I know he's pointed, so.
The card's the interesting thing.
I don't think he'll give a red.
Who's taking the penalty? Quick, Mata.
I was thinking there, who's Ollie going to give it to? But Ollie doesn't do that.
What are you
Is there
slabbering?
no card here?
Are you slabbering about Ollie?
It's not slobber. It's a known fact.
Mata, John Mata.
Yeah.
Tennessee his last goal for United. Let's not speak too soon, like.
You would imagine so, really.
You'd fancy, wouldn't you?
No card there given.
I told you it was a bit harsh.
What I said, I don't think you can give a yellow for it, but I think something should have been given.
Come on, John. Come on, John.
But is it this whole double? Oh, Mata. Yes!
Get in.
2-1 United.
Mata. Good man, John.
Juan loves it. Tell me, Juanda.
Doesn't matter. Come on, big son.
Aaron said that's clearly a pain. If he had his foot planted, that's an ankle injury. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And also, the tackle actually led his foot to be planted. So it wasn't as if his foot was planted and then it was a tackle. It was a tackle that led his foot to be planted.
There was, you could see a bit of contact live, but whenever you look back on it, like, whoa, like it's.
That's potentially a serious injury. I
Mm,
don't know how Donny's come away with that completely unscathed. Aaron says, Matt, a farewell goal. Thank you for your
yeah,
service. Yep.
yeah. Be interesting to see where John Mata goes. Back to Spain, obviously, but I wonder where. Maybe even America. I'd like to see John get a big bumper salary to be, chilling out in New York Red Bulls or something. Deserves it with all the charity work he does, and that he's a director of that business or the charity that trying to convince players to give 1% of their salary or something, which is raise millions and millions of pounds. And it's just a genuine nice dude, we John. Right, fair play. The lads are going 2-1. Wasn't expecting that when I seen the team, the lineup. Right, let's have a look what we're dealing with. Right, Arsenal 0 against Brighton. Villa beating Chelsea. Go on, the villains. Newcastle beating Fulham 1-0. Leeds 2-0. Calvin Phillips and Rodrigo. Leicester, Tottenham 1 each. Best game of the round. Liverpool 1-0. Mane. Good to see Mane getting his wee shooting boots on again. When he took him 38 games, 37 games going to do it. City are taking Everton for a lesson. Sheffield getting a wee win. McGoldrick's going to goal. Must be his second or third this season. West Ham 2 against Southampton. Man United winning Wolves 2-1. Perfect. By the way, folks, some fantastic United documentaries coming out in the next couple of days. That one that's just on the screen there, True Genius, the George Best one. There's also one called The United Way coming out tomorrow. And then you've got obviously Fergie's one at the end of the month as well. So 3 cracking documentaries to get stuck clean into. I'm actually thinking about going to the cinema to see the Fergie one, just for the pure shits and gigs of it, popcorn and all, the novelty. Aaron, how's your wee bet going? I think mine's pretty bit of dire straits here. Almost bird getting dragged away to bed there, God love him. Oh, Aaron, it's shocking. He's in there. I don't know what he's doing. He must be making. Sounds like he's churning ice cream. Oh, I see watching boys and having pints. Oh. Had a wee shandy today for the first time. I had my first lunch outside in a beer garden. Had a wee shandy and all. It was delicious. All right, Santiago, you're right. The squad rotation's good. Good to see it. If we can get away with the win here, just means we know we're rested for Wednesday. Focus. Oh, there you go. Smashing. Thank you. Oh, they blow the ballocks clean off you. They are, folks. Take a wee gander at those boys. Go on. No, she's not going to do it. Just trust me, it'll look good. Aaron, how's your back getting on? Must be you must be looking okay actually. What was your bet again? And Rich also see Rich, see your comment about terrible season. It'd be interesting to get your thoughts on that as to why you think it's a terrible season based on our opponents and our rivals and based on the backing the board or the board give Ollie in the summer. I'm happy enough. Again, the United fans never going to be happy with second, but I felt it was the first time ever we had a we even flirted with the idea of kind of even kind of joking about maybe winning the league in around Christmas time. That was exciting for that 45 minutes we had that. So at least we got there. Hopefully it's a bit longer next year. He's Eric Cantona's even getting stuck into the Just Eat ads these days. Hey, Brad.
Bet you.
You've used that other sauce, haven't you?
No.
Let me see it. Is that what you used?
No.
Just saying there.
Hmm.
Here's a good thing for you that we had at least this season. We had a wee bit of being able to actually even kind of semi joke about the league around Christmas time. You know what I mean? We haven't had that in a long time.
But winning the league.
Yeah, we even got to do a wee bit of banter about that. We were at the top of the league and all with a wee bit of crack and a wee bit of.
We would have. Fair enough.
Haven't done that in a while.
What's the folks saying?
Not a lot. I've asked Rich to explain himself as to why it's a terrible season.
You got a comment there?
Hmm?
He's got a comment there for you?
Mark, I was joking. You're lucky you were joking, Rich, because I actually do respect your opinion. I thought this man must be on the beers. Starting to sound like broods who you were.
To be fair, I also said it was a bit mad.
Yeah, I agree with that, to be honest with Rich.
Would help if you read it out.
I can't actually read it because you've got the screen pointing at the window again, so I have to go like this to read that.
So you were lying there
I'll
then.
bring my mic. Bring my mic.
So you were
Mark, I was
completely,
joking. Just wanted to see if it would trigger an argument between you two.
So you lied.
Not a terrible season, but
You
a
lied then.
disappointing season considering the
You
drop
told me
off
agreed.
of
but
other teams.
You told me agreed with him without reading it.
No, I could see it enough to understand it and see what he's saying, but I would have kind of see it clearly enough to comfortably read it out. Probably like a lot of effort went into that. I had to come over there, and it actually still strained my eyes a bit. But no, don't worry about it. But yeah, no, I agree, with Rich. It's you see, I think it's too easy just to say, oh, all the other teams dropped off, so no wonder he's disappointing based on that. Well, is there not something in the fact that we didn't just bottle it like all the rest of the other teams? You know, and we didn't sack our manager, and our manager didn't get sacked or needed to be sacked. Um, I think if based on other if we win the Europa League, it's always based on that. If we win the Europa League and come second, I am happy. I'm not ecstatic. I want more, obviously, but I'm happy. I think it's been quite an interesting season, and there's been loads of ups and downs, and there's been some really good highs, and there's been some really terrible lows, like the game against Leipzig, the second game in the group. That was a real heartbreaking one. Whenever Everton equalised to make it 3 each at Old Trafford that night, that was heartbreaking, and the loss against Sheffield was. I'm still feeling the effects of that.
The six goal drubbing.
The 6-1 surprisingly I'm well over that. Whereas the 3 each at Everton and the 2-0 against Sheffield was it 2-0 or 1-0? The Sheffield loss I felt was when the dream was over that time.
Well, the Everton one for sure.
The Everton one was, and especially because we'd scored similar to the other night. Like Bruno's goal was very Cantona-esque, and it was fantastic goal again. The second goal in the game, third goal in the game, the second or third goal in the game. Similar to last week, Cavani's wonder strike, and then we go away with less than 3 points. Very frustrating. You got some tish there, have you?
Gotta tell you, they're smashing.
Have you been marinating them marinating them in peach again?
Lemon juice, brown sugar. You know what it tastes like? Celery. So
that
really,
right?
yeah.
Was there like?
I was referring to the wings, by the way.
No.
They're smashing. Lovely. They're a bit tougher skin because they've been in the fridge all day.
Have we done a stream with wings since I made the wings myself? I don't think so.
What?
Do we have wings last stream?
Yes.
I tried to make the wings there last weekend, and they were nice, like, but not to this level, unfortunately.
You just need to pour your heart into them, put some love into them.
Mm. I even had them in the fridge for like 7 hours now.
These were in the fridge from this morning.
And just didn't. I think I put too much honey in. I think I kind of. I don't know what I done. Maybe too much honey, and maybe there was no cayenne pepper as well. But I didn't really think that would affect it that much.
Oh no, cayenne's a big deal on it.
Just plenty of pepper and a wee bit of chili powder, and but it tasted so salty. You know, you remember you were warning me about the baking powder, but it wasn't. I don't think that was a problem.
Baking powder in itself is salty. If you think you've put too much baking powder in, you always start with baking powder because if you think you've put too much in, then you don't put any more salt in.
Well, it was a tiny bit salty. I don't know.
It's basically,
I'll try again.
if you think you've overdone the baking powder, don't put any salt in it. I think it's all right. Maybe a wee dash. It's like the vinegar with the sauce. A little dash of vinegar. But if you go too much on the vinegar, it ruins everything. It's like a and that's it. Just wanted to see if it would trigger an argument between you and Mark. Not a terrible season, but a disappointing season considering the drop off of other teams. And I agree with that. I think the end of the season been thoroughly disappointing, and the start of the season been thoroughly disappointing, and we had disappointments in the middle of the season also.
I don't think anybody can argue with me about what the board done this summer based on the strength of the other squads and expected us to do anything close to second. No chance.
Yeah, but the point is, if Liverpool hadn't had the season they've had, they would be above us. Same goes with Chelsea. If you put all the seasons up against each other, take away, obviously, this is a ridiculous point that I'm making, to be fair. But if we put them all up against each other, they'd be above us in the league. We've flopped more points out of nowhere than they have, I would say.
I think what to do for that is the league.
Hmm?
What to do that, do a league. And at the end of the season, you can see who's done best, who's done second best.
No, I'm talking about we've flopped more from strong positions.
But we've also got the most points from losing positions. So it's like,
But
I don't know.
that's down to the fact that we flop every game.
I think
Start off flopping.
I think the summary is you have to especially if Ollie gets a trophy. It's last year was second, third this year's second and a trophy. Next season we need it's over to the board now.
And Ollie's got a lot of power. I think this end over the summer and into next year.
If he gets the trophy, though, I think.
Even regardless, I think he's got a lot of power.
What makes you say that?
Because I don't think he can beat Ollie out if the transfer window is terrible and we don't progress, because everybody can point to, well, the season before he wasn't back, the summer there he wasn't back. What do we expect out of him? And if he gets something out of it, then it's all Ollie. He's given 2-3 years. His plan has started to be implemented. You can see the fruition of it coming. That's his squad now, and you can see the results of it.
Okay. So you're Ollie in now?
I was Ollie out after that Burnley game.
What, last January?
When was the last time you heard me say Ollie out?
Well, I never know what you were taking the piss or not. Arsenal are beating Brighton. Not that matters.
Did all the games like kick off before?
Yeah, we're a bit late because of the penalty in VAR.
Oh, so the second half started?
In the other games, aye.
We're 4 minutes into it. Man United Herbert says Brandon Williams is rubbish. Another passion merchant with no footballing ability. Need to get Trippier. Think about that.
Who said that?
Man United Herbert.
Brandon Williams is rubbish. Another passion Merchant with no football in the building. I think that is very harsh. Passion Herbert. No, Man United. What's his name? Man United Herbert. Sorry about that. I think that's very harsh. Young Brandon. I think if we had checked maybe your tweets or your WhatsApps that back in last season, it'd have been one of your favorite players, and you really like to see how he was progressing. You haven't seen him this season, so I don't think you can really make a comment on that. But you've got an opinion, no problem.
I think it's mad to have like a strong opinion on Brandon
Yeah,
this year.
you forgot all about him. Poor wee fellas in nowhere.
The few opportunities he has been given, he hasn't done much with, but it's mad to make a solid decision on him right now.
Mm, not for sure. Be interesting to see what does happen with him though, because if there's talk about the Trippier thing seems to be getting some decent traction, but like
I watched him celebrating yesterday as they won the league, and I was just thought, is he going to come to United?
mm,
I also seen non scumbag, non. I was actually thinking about this yesterday. I was on the toilet, scrolling the old phone, and I seen it live, but I seen it again. It annoyed me. Suarez celebrating up to the camera,
what that know you?
and just thought, Don, that's scumbag. If you did what he did 3 times to somebody just out on the street, there'd be criminal charges
Oh, you'd
against
be
you.
in prison.
So what's different about that? What he did?
Oh yeah, no, I could see all that. Yeah, of course,
Why
obviously.
is there no
Oh, he's an
criminal
he's
proceedings?
he's a rat. Like, however, there is a wee bit of me thinking,
What they
it is
say,
nice to laugh at Barca
is
though.
because there's sporting stuff and it's on the sporting field. There's an expectation where there'll be some sort of battery or injury to a person, but you've signed a contract to
Yeah,
put yourself in that position. But what he's doing is completely different to a bad tackle.
no, he's biting the shoulder off you.
Like he's physically, on purpose biting you and
Yeah,
then doing this with sore teeth after he does it.
that's right. He went down. He went down holding his
Holding his
teeth.
teeth.
That's right.
Should be in jail. Never mind on the pitch celebrating win the league.
There is a wee bit though where you're like, because I hate Barcelona with a passion, right? And there is a wee bit of, they let him go, and
Here's the equivalent, right? You're out in the motor and you just randomly all of a sudden on purpose ram your car into just an innocent bystander 3 times. Do you think you have a driving license?
no,
Right. So if you bite somebody on the football pitch, do you reckon you should still be allowed to play on the football pitch?
no, yeah, of course not. Like,
Shocking.
no, like it's a joke, like and all. But it's not a wee bit of you thinking, haha, Barca, like let him go and all,
No,
and then he won the
no,
league.
because
I
no,
think
because if
there's
you
a wee
think
bit of
no, but if you think that, then he's got the last laugh, and I don't want that to be the instance in any shape or form.
well, unfortunately, that is the way it is.
I know, but you're actually backing him a wee bit there.
No, I'm not backing him. I'm against Barca. I'm laughing at Barca thinking you sold one of your strikers and they went on to be. I think they might have got actually the golden boot.
I'm much more against Suarez than
That
I
couldn't
am
be
against
golden boot
Barca.
because Messi. What?
I'm more against Suarez than I'm against Barca.
No, of course. I'm just saying that if you that is just another point that needs to be picked out, which is Barca must be kicking themselves, which is good to see.
And says so. The Suarez thing. Liverpool fans this week said to me that he should be inducted. Oh,
Into the Hall of Fame?
into the
Come
Premier
on.
League Hall of Fame
No way.
solely because Cantona has been inducted.
Nonsense. All Cantona
You
done
can't.
was kung fu kicked him in the face. What the hell? Like at the end of the day, what's wrong with that, really? If you're gonna bite somebody, that's different gravy. Like.
Suarez will go into it.
Mm,
He will for sure, but in the same breath as Cantona, I don't think he.
no.
But
Good to see we Davy Beckham in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
unfortunately, he's a Premier League great.
So we now have 5 people in Hall of Fame.
I haven't seen the most recent one. Was it Beckham? And
Beckham, yeah, just Beckham. That's
Just
the last.
Beckham?
That's the last I heard. Unless there's somebody else I've missed, but if I'm right, then we've got 4. No, we've got 3 out of 5, which is good. Yeah.
So it was Shearer and Henry,
Yeah.
and then King and Cantona,
King Cantona and then
and
Beckham.
then Beckham by himself.
I mean, okay, do you know what? I might be getting that wrong. But Beckham's definitely in. I know that. Hopefully, somebody in the comments can help us with it.
Can't wait to Van der Sar gets in.
There's Leicester 2-1. Jimmy Vardy again. 2 goals, Jimmy Vardy, in the last day of the season. He's left it late this year.
At what point do you think Van der Sar gets in?
Pretty soon. Yeah, I'd probably.
Do you think he gets in above Schmeichel? No. If it was only United related, I'd put him in first. But Premier League wise, I think Schmeichel gets it.
Mm.
United wise, Van der Sar. Premier League wise, Schmeichel. Unfortunately.
Well, Premier League wise, you would be going for Czech, wouldn't you?
No, but I'm talking about between the two United keepers. Anybody who does cartwheels in front of United fans as an ex-player deserves the utmost disrespect. There's all the talk about Gary Neville, like blanked him loads of times and stuff.
Yeah. That time in the tunnel.
Rich says Chelsea are fifth. Aaron says that he disagrees with the idea of a Premier League Ball of Fame, such an unnecessary Americanism. I'm torn on that actually. I did think of that, but I also am thinking.
I like it. Just have it. Why not? Why, I don't see how you can disagree with it. Just have it. There's no reason to not have it.
The timing of it is bad.
Hell's a bad time of it. How can that be the case?
Well, because around about the time of the ESL, the attempted Americanization of all of European football. I know, and that was your face when it was announced. You were like, I don't see the big deal. Might be fun playing Barcelona twice a week.
No,
I'm looking forward to it.
I didn't say that. I just said that I would
you
rather.
did.
No, I said
We don't see it.
I'd rather wait to
Don't see what the
see
big
what it
deal is.
actually means. And we never got to see what it meant.
Well, it did.
No, we didn't because it was shut down. So
we seen what it was supposed to be.
no, but
they were like,
no,
well,
but that was
maybe
never. No,
interesting,
but
you know.
that was the like it was like the first. It was like a concept car. We didn't know what would actually be in real life. Oh, careful, good man.
No.
No. Anyway, so
We knew the plans. We knew that the clubs had pulled out of the different governing bodies in their leagues. We knew it was going to happen.
No. I knew all that. What I was interested in was to find
like,
out.
oh, maybe
No. What I was finding out was what the format would be and how it would actually work, and if it would be it actually detrimental to the Premier League or not. And then that was this is obviously on the Sunday and / Monday when it came out. But no, I think the Hall of Fame. I just think it's something another interesting talking point. Like I just definitely have it.
Very, very, very bad timing.
I think we're smart enough to know, like, okay, it was Hall of Fame now, so we like this, but we don't want the ASL still. We want to get duped in it, are we?
No, but the point is the Americanization of the sport. It was so thoroughly rejected throughout Europe. The Hall of Fame is uniquely an American thing, really.
Aston Villa 2-0. Chelsea are in bother.
So they should be flagging these things up more often.
I BT aren't very good at doing that. This feels like the olden days, back in the good old days in football, when all the games were at the same time, roughly.
Aaron says, my thoughts exactly, Brad. The vets are coming on nicely.
City 3-0. The Watch are coming on? Well, the bets.
The vets, they said.
Sure. It's your Hall of Fame. Have it. Why not? Just have it. Forget about the time. We're all goal ups. We're not going to get.
What's the idea? It's very rare I say it, but those wings are smashing. Smashing. I don't know how I got these scars.
Rich, do you reckon you have the balls to equalise here? Yeah, what's happening in the world? So what's happening in the second half there, but I haven't seen it. There's a cat on the pitch. Oh, you're Jesus, Twansy was nearly killed the damn thing.
Nobody gets that. Play it to him, Alex.
The cat's in good space there.
Maddox with an absolute wonder ball there.
What about Maddox going to Roma? Do you hear about this? We're going to
Please do.
with Jose.
I reckon every night Jose goes to bed with his missus. Maddox is sitting there in a bowl of soup with him.
In a cling film. And a poly pocket.
So second half looks a bit more Wolves centric. What do you make of Dean Henderson starting tonight on this game? I think that means it's Dave, definitely. And then what do you think about that?
Good.
What do you think that means?
I don't care what it means. What it does mean short term is that Dave's playing on Wednesday, which I'm happy about.
But do you think that's maybe seeing off?
No.
Hope it's not.
I don't think it's as simple as that.
I think the momentum is sort of swaying people towards that way, but I can't see Ollie doing that.
Come on. Come on, Dave.
Getting rid of Dave in this fashion. I can't see Ollie doing it. I think it would affect the dressing room too much. I think a lot of Ollie's style is based on getting the dressing room behind you and motivating them. I think that destroys the whole dynamic of the entire club. Is he or is he not the longest serving player at the club?
Jones.
Apart from Jones, which
Doesn't count. Like
doesn't really count. No disrespect to you, Philip. I'm sure you're loving life, not having to do anything and being paid like 80 grand a week.
I wonder what his salary actually is.
But the only consistent player that has won the league with us. There's Dan James is through. Great ball from Diallo. And Dan James absolutely nearly swore.
I think that might have been the worst
That was awful.
finish I've ever seen.
He needs to be trying to nuts.
Great ball from Diallo there.
Great pace. Leaves the defence.
Shocking.
You know, that's the equivalent of doing a, what do you call those?
Panenka.
Panenka. We cheeky Panenka. What was that? Right. Take him off. Ollie, take him off. What do you mean he can't? Who's on the bench? Bring De Gea on. Dan James off for De Gea. Make a statement. You can't do that.
Everyone makes mistakes, Bird.
It was like a mistake on purpose.
Think he meant the missed that chance?
It was so like there were so many easier things he could have done, but he thought I'm gonna be the man of the moment here. Do that one more time and you're effing off.
Here's another chance.
He is literally playing as the striker.
Yeah.
I will say if we end up winning this game, it's there's got to be serious questions asked about Wolves. I guess it's a weaker team than played against Leicester.
It is.
Big Anto brings it out wide, play at the Tellez and make a run. Donny. The Mania gives it away again. Drops the by though, however, who also gives it away. I'd love to see the statistics in general of all the football teams who gives the ball away the most, because we have definitely got to be up there. Diallo just completely miscontrols it and goes out for a throw in. Great interception there from Telias.
Remember Todd?
What do you think's going to happen then next year? Think it'll be the same as this year?
Yeah.
Do you not think he should have got more game time? Telias or Sean might have been rested more this year? Santiago says, let's take a moment and laugh at Villa beating Chelsea 2-0 right now.
Yep. Don't laugh for him.
That sounded like you were mocking Santiago.
No, it sounded like I was laughing at Chelsea.
So is that they're out of the top four at the minute?
Yeah.
So what's the top four? Us, City, us, Leicester,
Liverpool and Leicester.
Liverpool and Leicester.
No. Aye.
Is it Leicester, Liverpool, Liverpool, Leicester?
Liverpool, Leicester.
And goal difference?
Yeah.
They're both winning.
Tottenham or joke.
Although Chelsea have the chance of obviously getting into the Champions League through it. It's almost as if we should have a secondary device. Your phone does that, mine doesn't. Do you hear that?
It's because mine's cool.
Bit of interference. Big Dino there.
Tottenham
Grabs it.
or joke, boys.
What's the score in the Tottenham game?
2-1 to Leicester.
Oh, it was 2-0 and Tottenham scored.
So that means Tottenham don't even at this here. That means as it stands, Arsenal finish above Tottenham, and they're in the Europa Conference League, and Chelsea and West Ham are in the Europa League. Interesting.
Alanga there seems unfairly taken out. Yep, free kicks given. Semedo there, but too eager to get the ball. Very very mature play there from Alanga. Just felt the touch and took the free kick.
Your man's ripping.
You see quite a lot of greenery in the background with your man there as he was ripping.
Greenery?
Yeah, like you can see there the corners not like fully made out. It looked like he was like standing at, I don't know whether I show you the same angle. See it there?
Oh, I like the grass.
This surely is this like a training ground or something?
No. Alex Tellez for one of his trademark from the left, free kicks. Oh, straight to Matinho.
What on earth was that?
Disgusting. Right, we need to pay somebody £1 million a year to come in and be the set piece coach because it's a joke. Like I said last week, when we get a corner, I would rather the other team had a goal kick.
You could do, couldn't you?
Set piece.
Set pitch.
Set pieces, coach. Yeah,
Well, you've said plenty of pieces in your time, haven't you?
you've sorted out plenty of pages in your time, by
Peaches.
pages.
I said you've set a lot of pieces, and you said, well, you've sent a lot of peaches in your time.
You've sent a lot of pages. He's on a page company.
I don't even know. Thanks for watching, Santiago. You come on and joined us on the Oil KG show the other night. Brought him on.
He's on tonight.
Can't tell you.
I can't believe it. Like,
No, it's the main man KG's back in the building tonight. Give me a break.
thank God. I've missed the 5 things, dude.
You didn't even watch the old timestamps that I sent you, did you? But you didn't.
No, I haven't had time.
Some mucker you are.
And the
Too busy
five
having lunch.
5 things, Steve, last week literally sent me to sleep. It's great. Oh, come on, Michael.
It was at like 1 in the morning, to be fair.
Mm. Do you reckon we'll ever get to a game?
Mhm.
I'd love to go to a game next season if we could.
We'll be calling in live.
Nah, we'll be blocked, and we'll just enjoy it watching it.
Even
We'll
better.
do a reaction video in the hotel afterwards. I you should look into that, Bruce. You've
I'm
got a
not sure.
boy. You've got a man, haven't you?
I'm sure you've got season tickets coming.
Not next season.
I don't know if I have a boy anymore.
If you got a boy,
I've got to ask a boy if he still got the boy.
aye, Aaron. If you got the boy still, I would love to go to a game. I haven't. Do you know how long it's been since I've been to a game? It's terrible. Um.
Who knows how long
Oh.
it's going to be till it's full capacity,
Yeah. Well, that's true.
or till it's full enough to have like single tickets,
Yeah.
and
There's no like lottery or nonsense.
you would literally just be relying on getting somebody season ticket who has that game that doesn't want to go to that game,
Yeah.
even though they can't go to every game. So
I go
it's
to any
like,
game. I wouldn't
oh
care.
well, yeah, I'll go to a bloody training warm up.
I think you and I should go to Liverpool for the weekend and then go to Manchester and see the game.
We should rent the hot air balloon. Just fly over, just the top corner of the south stand. Just
No, I couldn't trust you in case you had a wee banner saying hello or something.
like Hannibal, get him on.
That'd be interesting to see him. He got young player of the year, didn't he? Or under 23 player of the year. He did. Don't know why Brood.
I was waiting for the joke, but just sorry. Santiago says, "Let's take a moment to laugh at Villa beating Chelsea 2-0 right now." Take two.
I've
Go
right
on.
laughed.
For God's sake. That was even faker than the last one.
Nonsense. We Tommy Tickle, best manager ever now.
Man United Herbert, are you still in the building? Who was the remember who was it? We had paracetamol addict. We had that one. Was it Chad Hawkins? Or was it Brad? No, no, Brad Hawkins.
Brad Hawkins is
No,
Brad
but do you
Hawkins.
remember we had a Chad something
Yeah, he was on whenever
from
the
California.
protests were happening.
What's his name?
Don't know.
I remember we had someone from Vikings last week. Was it?
Ragnar Lothbrok.
Oh, we've caught up to the point that you said about
Good man.
that you tried to spoil me with months ago.
What? Vikings?
Yeah, don't say it.
You still watching?
Don't.
Whereabouts are you?
I think we're midway through season. What's the latest season 6? Is it?
I'm not
That's the
sure.
one that's on at the minute.
Can't remember. So are you?
It's
are
the
you-
one before the one that's on this at the minute.
Right. So Ragnar's still alive. There you are.
Don't do it. You'll lose us 40% of our viewers.
You can't really
Which is
do that
two
because
people.
it's so old. Like it's kind of like
It's not. It's ongoing.
you have to like sort of. It's like saying, "Oh my God, did Germany get beat in the war?" You shouldn't have told
It's
me
just
that. I'm
not,
watching a
man.
film about the war.
It's just not though. Not even slightly.
Did you watch Game of Thrones? You didn't, did you? You're one of those weirdos that have never seen any Game of Thrones, are you? Are you?
We've talked about Game of Thrones.
Have we?
We've talked about season 8 of Game of Thrones.
So you do watch it?
I did watch it.
You
Yeah.
watched it? You know, I thought you were one of the boys that didn't watch it. What'd you think?
I'd like to hear your opinion first.
Well, I've asked you first. What do you mean, Game of Thrones in general?
In general, is a very different question to your most recent opinion. Like the last time you thought about it.
No,
what was your
looking
thought?
back at Game of Thrones as a collective piece of work, as in a series, as in a concept,
As a collective.
as a Game of Thrones, just as it's now over. So we'll look back at it and go,
So you finished watching it. You've just finished watching it.
no,
How do you feel?
just not, no, just today. Looking back at
Today.
Game of Thrones, going, that was X. What's the
Today.
X?
90% of it captured me, enthralled me. I thoroughly enjoyed my time watching it. I think I've watched it all through 3 times, apart from the last couple of seasons. 10% of it makes me violently ill and angry
Out of disappointment or out
at
of
how badly they treated the material and the viewers. And it all started season 8, episode 3, was it? When they had the battle against the White Walkers. The very worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
you spoil it?
Hmm?
What if Santiago hasn't seen it yet?
How's that a spoiler? Just said it was they had a battle, and it was absolutely dreadful. Remember your boy shouting at your boy behind the wall? Your boy can literally knock down the big giant wall up north, but he can't knock down that pile of rubble with your boy behind it. What a load of guff.
I missed that one.
Nobody wants to talk about the football. What about Game of Thrones? Chat all going. Aaron says cashed out on 3-5 winning Liverpool Palace game. Doesn't look like there's another 2 goals in it. Don't know what that means. That makes sense to you? Of course it
Oh,
does. Game of Thrones was amazing, but season 8 was infuriating. Worse than that,
who said
Rich.
that?
Rich.
Rich?
Santiago, not even a joke. I met Amelia Clark on the day Daenerys burnt up King's Landing and she looked dead inside. Would you mean the day she filmed it or the day it broke live? Because I'd have went in the hiding. Have you seen the video? The little
2-1 Chelsea.
What?
Sorry, Chelsea or
2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa. Sorry.
Have you not seen the montage of the actors talking about season 8?
No, I actually haven't.
It's phenomenal.
I've seen
maybe be
nothing.
able to bring it
No,
up.
I didn't. I purposely didn't watch any kind of reaction or any kind of post
No,
commentary.
I've seen it after the fact, and like they're all like going, "I watch it's good no."
Hmm.
And if you see it before you watch what actually happened, you're like, "Oh, the same, all right." And then you see it after you've watched what actually happens, and you're like, "They are fuming." They're like
Hmm.
trying to warn you, like this is not going to end well. I'd have been fuming if I was Big Amelia. And where were you, Santiago? It's very interesting.
He must have been in King's Landing.
It probably wasn't. It's probably somewhere in California. 'Cause I think that's where Santiago's calling live
Oh,
from.
oh, oh.
And it says last minute of this bore draw? Question mark? Question mark? Don't know what that means. Santiago got a picture to prove it too. The day the episode came
I have
out.
no idea what he's at, Aaron. Like it's weird that we've had 91 minutes of this game. Like I don't understand. I'm sure it'll be grand. We're in extra time here, injury time. Where's the board? The board didn't go up. One job this boy has.
You only noticed,
One boy.
and it's still nil each.
Imagine the punters are actually coming in here for proper content. I haven't got Sky Sport. I haven't got BT.
What next season?
Next
The
season is going to
quality
you're
will
not
be
gonna know yourself
it'll
next season.
blow your absolute
Next
nipples off
season
your
you're going
body.
to think you're in Old Trafford. What was that, Bruce? you think it's gonna be on UTV?
And I won't have to spend an hour and a half setting it up for it to not work.
Hour and a half. He plugs a couple of cables in and goes, Bob, you're up. Oh.
You wouldn't know how to plug a cable in if you went to.
Bunk bed and Megaloof with a girl in top.
I was going to say something a lot worse than that. Thankfully, I didn't.
Game of Thrones was fantastic. That's all I'll say.
That's a very subjective sentence.
Fantastic.
Because when does was end?
Game of Thrones is fantastic.
No, it's not.
I love everything about it.
If you're watching this and you haven't seen it, watch it until
Watch it all.
the end of season 4, and then just save yourself the bother. Go and watch Breaking Bad instead.
Nowhere near as good. Or Breaking Bad is nowhere near as good. I love that as well, but no, it's not. Oh,
Turned off your microphone. So, folks, it's just me for the rest of the show. I can't have you listening to reckless opinions such as that. There's nothing happening up there. It's literally wheels have got it
they are probably
just
watching.
in front of their backs.
They're probably watching.
Oh, yeah.
Aye.
You ready to correct your opinion?
2 each.
2 each.
Oh, that means it's back on. Leicester can get
That
back
means it's back on. Leicester can get back into the.
Breeds a big silly poo poo.
So what were you saying?
I was saying Brood's a big silly poo poo.
Yeah, before that.
There's another goal coming through. Palace. Liverpool. 2-0 Liverpool. Rich, you better get into that changing room and absolutely bollock those boys. That's Northern Irish for shit at them. Oh.
What was more disappointing? The final season of Game of Thrones or the last episode of Line of Duty?
Oh, Line of Duty didn't affect me whatsoever. I liked it. I really liked it. But it wasn't a part of my life like Game of Thrones was. Oh, this could be dangerous here. Who's that down?
Tell us.
We Mike's letting this go on. Come on. Ah, what?
Wolves are being awful.
Yeah,
They're being awful
they're
Burnley-ish here,
yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
We watched the film last night, Mark. That I think you might enjoy.
Yeah.
What's it called? It had your main man Mel Gibson in it. Unhinged.
Never seen it.
You watched
No,
it?
never
No.
seen it.
It came out mid last year. During
Oh, it's a recent film?
yeah, it came out.
Unhinged?
Yeah.
Don't spoil it. I actually might watch it.
It's like a
Chelsea are back in the top four, by the way, folks, based on that Tottenham goal. Just, I'm wondering.
that's sickening to see.
Mm.
Last round of the year.
There's still time, like, to be fair.
Your earphones causing it. Santiago, I'd love to see that photo. I'd love to see her bake. She must have been fuming. You need to watch that the video that went out. The montage of all the all the actors reacting to how the filming of the season went. Yeah, surely you've seen the one with Amelia says the best season ever.
No.
And she's like
I haven't. I
very
literally haven't
sarcastic.
seen any post-match commentary on Game of Thrones at
You
all.
should watch it. It's very interesting.
Here's the goals coming through, folks. So,
Oh yeah. No, Aaron says it's Russell Crowe. It's not Mel Gibson. 100% right. It's Russell Crowe.
right. So Arsenal 2-0 against Brighton. Chelsea getting beat 2-1 by Villa. Fulham are getting beat 1-0 by Newcastle. Leeds are beating West Brom 3-0. Leicester, Tottenham's 2 each at the King Power. Liverpool are beating Palace 2-0. So Liverpool have solidified.
Barry absolutely sent for a sausage roll there.
Liverpool have
Useless.
solidified confirmed their top four status, which is
Absolutely.
to be hats off to them. To be fair, I know it's all a big hate Liverpool and everything, but yeah, you need to say
Anyway, so
fair play Liverpool.
So Rich says the Starbucks cup. Aaron says F word, 1 goal in Liverpool game and my bets up, and I've cashed out. FML. I don't know what these things mean.
Cashed out.
Disgusting.
What I was saying was, you have to say fair play Liverpool. You have to.
You don't.
You do.
Unhinged, by the way, it's a film about just a guy who has had a very bad day and gets in a bit of road rage, and then it just goes all off from there.
Is it based on you?
It
Could you relate?
Unknowingly in the very near future. It's based on me. It hasn't happened yet, but it's given me some ideas.
Did you watch it with your bird?
I did.
What did she think?
It was very, very good up until the last 20 minutes, and I actually vocally predicted how downhill it would go, and it just went so predictable. But Russell Gibson, he was very, very good. He really sold it. Big Mel Crow was very good from start to finish in it.
Male absolute gibble, even though it's Russell Crowe.
There's so many like really hilarious things that happen in it if you like look at it in a slightly different view.
Wolves are pushing for this goal here, and they are penetrating. To be fair, what are you watching these days? Like, it's weird. You watching the film? I haven't watched the film in ages.
We watched.
Good ball
great
back.
ball.
Oh,
Was that
good man. That's Twan Zabi. Go on, man. That's it. DJ might get there. Look at the speed of that boy. Jeepers.
He's like a firework. He's like lightning quick, but you can't control it.
And Big Russell is
In Unhinged.
Unhinged
is your
is-
absolute doppelganger.
Do you look like Russell
Could
Crowe?
have just typed twin.
So if Russell Crowe, if Russell Crowe and Wayne Rooney had a baby, you'd get brood. Have you taken that cap off since I left this house and
I have to get my hair cut.
got mine cut yesterday?
Been a long time from I had a cut.
It's
My documentary, not the, well, it's not really a documentary. My interview that's about to come out is the last time I had my haircut. You'll see a big difference. About to come out soon. Dropping soon on the iFast channel, where you can also find out the recipe for those delicious wings. He didn't mention the wings. He did. There was no.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I would say, Bert, is that I had a big lunch and they're still delicious.
High praise indeed.
Mm.
There's our Shoratiri coming on. Your phone. I genuinely thought that was you there.
You thought that was
I
me?
looked down. That was you.
Me?
Yeah, the hair and beard. Forget about the belly. I was more talking about the head.
There's Brood's doppelganger, according to Aaron.
Did you just say double ganger?
Doppelganger? Can't get a bit of focus, don't worry about
It
it.
actually looks more like you.
Same sort of dress sense as you. You dress
No.
like a bus driver
No.
in Manhattan.
He's not a bus driver, so
Oh, go on. Go on, Amma. Get a go for yourself, son. Ping her in.
the Langa's calling for it.
Oh, pudding.
Defender gets half a block on it and goes to the keeper. You should watch the film, by the way.
I will.
It's interesting enough. It's good.
I'll watch the life out of it, Brood.
But there's a lot of silly things happening on it. Really takes you out of it a bit. He's like an absolute psychopath and he's going around and causing havoc, but
I'm in the middle of something.
this is more important. And like the other people, like just the general people in society end up finishing the job for him, like out of just pure recklessness.
Good. That sounds a bit
Like,
like
basically-
AG's 5 Things Deep.
He hit somebody with his car
There's
right,
Hannibal coming on.
purpose, right?
Right, Brit, don't want to know more.
It's not really a spoiler because I think it's in the trailer.
Well, do you know what happens to Ragnar Lothbrok?
Well, that's not in the trailers. And he hits him from like a start and stop. Like he drives off and hits him, and the guy like sort of bumbles on the other side of the road, and then like a minute passes, and then just like a random member of the public just cleans him out. It's like it's not like he falls off the bonnet and hits the other car. It's like he falls off, lands on the road, and then the other person just boom whacks him. It's like, I'm not stopping. It's so funny, and that happens like 3 or 4 times. Anyway,
Declan Rice to score for West Ham. Future United player, fingers crossed.
what does that mean?
Means nothing. In fact, what does that mean? Does that mean something?
Let us know. What was that bet?
It's a great bet I'm doing at the moment.
That's weird that happens. That doesn't happen on my phone.
Casper Schmeichel had an own goal here, apparently.
Maybe hits off his arse cheeks or something.
Must have been, what does it mean for the table? Let's see. Yeah, so at this point then, West Ham, West Ham are in the Europa League. They've confirmed Europa League status. Arsenal are in the Europa Conference League, and Tottenham are 8th. Chelsea, Liverpool, top 4. Leicester, Europa League.
That's a weird. I didn't expect that today.
Yeah, mental.
It's absolutely crazy. The top 4, the way it's ended. You'd say for both.
That is so annoying. That.
For both Chelsea and Liverpool, it's the second half of the season has went not the way most people would expect it. Injury here in the Wolves box, so we're probably due probably another 5 minutes. Looks like a serious one.
Who is it?
Not sure. Didn't see it. Maybe Bolly? No, it's not. Neves?
No.
Nori? Can't really see.
Tottenham just scored.
What does that mean?
Don't know if it means anything. Yeah, it means that they're now in the Europa Conference League, and Arsenal are not.
I've really, probably on purpose, ignored what the Conference League really is. Can you shed some light on what that actually is?
Oh, there's a VAR check in progress. So
For who?
for Tottenham's third goal here. So therefore, if it's disallowed, then Arsenal go back into the Europa Conference League, and Tottenham go
I,
down to
I,
eighth.
I want Tottenham to get this goal in. I'd much rather Arsenal don't get in. Although if it was me, I'd probably not want to get in. Would you, if you were in a Tottenham player's position and you were going to take the penalty, would you hoof it over the bar so you don't go into this Conference League?
I haven't
And
even.
you
I
get like
honestly,
you get a lot better chance next year in the league. You don't have
mm,
to play dopey European games.
I
I'd be hoofing
actually,
it.
I honestly don't even know what the Europa Conference League actually is. I've never looked into it.
A Shoretire on the break.
With Hannibal on the run,
Big Danny Jizzle. Alanga absolutely
what
hoofs it
on earth was
for
that?
just.
It just bops him in the head. You see that? It just smacked him right in the forehead. That he wasn't even looking on his phone. Oh, we need to look at it again. Can you round up? I will bring it back later. That was fantastic. What do you say here? Oh, you missed. Oh, it literally cracked
I
me
don't
right in
think
the.
it did.
It did right in the bridge of the nose.
Rich says they're checking the goal. The goal stood.
Aye.
Kane did handball it though. So there's the as it stands on the screen.
Yeah.
So as you say, it's first place Man City, second Man United, Liverpool and Chelsea, third and fourth respectively. Leicester and West Ham in the Europa League positions, and Tottenham in the Conference League. I think. Did you? Was it a penalty? The third goal?
For Tottenham?
Yeah.
No.
No. I don't know what made me think that. I think I'd rather come eighth.
I'd rather come eighth, to be fair. Imagine having to fart about. Although it is,
I suppose you could just play like the team that United playing today.
you've got that. Yeah, I was going to say you've got that thing where you can blood youngsters and stuff, and like,
Mm.
I mean, the fact that this must be Hannibal's first appearance, is it? First
First,
debut.
first full team appearance. Yeah, very promising young player.
Again, I just don't want to pass comment on any of them until
No,
I get too excited by them.
I think it's his first year with us. We bought him in.
Yeah.
Quite promising. Sure, Thierry has come through the ranks.
Mm.
Same with Alanga. I've actually been watching Alanga the last couple of years. Very promising.
But then so was
I would love to see Charlie McNeil next year.
Taif Chong.
He's gone.
He's not gone. He's on loan.
Yeah, gone. He's not.
But he was as promising as bloody well Hannibal and Alanga, and
He was in the class of Greenwood. That's gone. His chance is gone. Lads, after seeing more on Dean over the last 10 games, have decided he's not our number one goalkeeper for the future. I think a lot of people are in agreement with you there.
it's early
Although it is
doors. But
early
it's early
doors,
doors
yeah.
to make that statement. But right now, Dave is the better keeper. But I think
I
deep
think
down everybody knew that.
I think
I've known that.
I think people are very emotional towards Dean based on the fact that it's against Dave. I think it's unfair with Dean.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying, but I think it's wholly unfair with Dean. I said at the start of the season he should have been loaned out again.
Mm. It was quite surprising that he wasn't it? I thought it was a sure thing he was going to loan.
We'll see what happens with Dave, because I think if Dave goes, then it's been the design. It's been Ollie's design from the start of the season. He's like basically said to him, "Nope, you're staying. You want to fight for your place, and as soon as Dave messes up, you're in. If you don't mess up, you can stay." But it hasn't worked out that way. Dave has been back very close to his best this year, unfortunately for Dean. But maybe that was Ollie's design. Put some pressure behind Dave. Maybe that's what Dave needed. Maybe he was getting lazy and resting on his legacy. Maybe that's what happened. And it says, "Don't think he stepped up in class." Yeah, I think he was probably better last year than for Sheffield than he's been for us this year. Culpable too many times. Yep. Do you know what's went very quiet with us? Red card there.
Yeah, for
As
Aspilicueta.
What's went very quiet for United, we were very heavily linked with. Who's on the pitch tonight? Ruben Neves, would you take him?
I I don't know about him. We needed a more defensively minded player.
He's defensively minded but can play a ball, but he doesn't have the physical
No,
attributes that we really need. We need somebody with a bit of pace,
he hasn't got the.
but has a bit of timber on him too.
Mm.
I was listening to a podcast today. I was actually talking about it, and the person basically completely dismissed the talk about the centre back partnerships and bringing in a new centre back, and basically saying doesn't matter. Uh, he said basically Lindelof and Maguire both very slow, but it doesn't matter how slow they are if they're properly protected in front of them.
Well, that's true.
And it really pricked my ears up a bit there. I thought, you know what, that's absolutely right.
See, Decky Rice is quite quick.
But
I think Rice is the answer
you
to
don't
that.
even have to be overly quick as a CDM. You just got to be in the right place, and you've got to have the stamina to be constantly moving.
Mm.
With it's like Matic. Matic isn't, he's slow, like, but he's not like he can't make an interception anywhere. But it's the stamina is the problem with him. I think we need somebody that's going to be constantly moving and has good positional sense.
Who are our options though? Like in reality, so
Aaron says yes on Neves would be an improvement on Fridge. Is it Fred? And
is Neves that sort of
thank
player?
he's not on the pitch today. Yeah, Neves he sort of plays sort of sweeping in front of the two centre backs, but he has the ability to pick a pass and hit a long range ball, a long range shot. Neves he's sort of coming towards the zenith of his career, so he's sort of dropping back a bit more,
Mm.
not relying on his pace. We were linked with him a couple of seasons ago. There's Matic is down. It
Quad.
looks like a ligament or a muscle injury here. But the season's over really.
So here isn't the class that we'll have a wee final to look forward to on Wednesday.
Yeah. What time you coming? Half time?
What time's the game at? 8.
No, the game's at 7.
So I'll be there at 8. If looks could kill, Brood. If looks could kill. Have you told your bird we're doing a stream from 5 to midnight on Wednesday yet? Oh, City just beat Everton 5-0.
A lot of support there for Nuno.
And rightly so, got them up from the championship, and they were playing Europa League football and stuff. It's actually interesting that we need to discuss that too, probably.
Very strongly linked with the Spurs. Obrigado, Nuno, which means thank you in Portuguese. Obrigado.
Tottenham 4-2.
So it's all pretty much settled now, isn't it?
Yeah. Handball.
Oh, it was a handball. Big shouts for that there. This will be an absolute wondrous result. Clean out of nowhere too. You see, I really would take Neves, but he's not like a long term solution. Oh, Hannibal, tasty. Whether they're going to show this again here, maybe see it. No, it's not. No, that looks very high up. I'll show it better here. No, chance.
Jesus.
No chance. And against them. They're all measuring the fish they caught.
Hey. It's because we're going to get. Don't know why.
What nationality is Alanga?
Swedish.
What?
Swedish.
Okay, Swedish. But what was that first word you said?
What?
What was that first word you said? You made up a new word.
Oh, I didn't say Swedish, right?
No.
Would they say something like Quidditch with an S on
You
it?
said Swedish.
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 Sheffield got a wee win there against Burnley.
Means nothing. Means less than nothing. Might as well not played that game.
Go away.
Might not went in. There's old Bolly. See if you were texting him and you put a wee X at the end, what would it be?
Alex. No, it is great that we'll have another game to watch. Because imagine if we were sitting here and this was the last game, last damp squib of the season with
Well,
nothing to look forward to.
it would be shocking.
So
It could be worse though. You could be sitting in that stadium right now as a Wolves fan. You came
yeah,
to like it's probably the first game that they've seen live, and it's been United's reserve under 23s.
yeah.
Even as that, is that Fishy?
Don't know who that is.
Will Fish? If you ever ask him to go out hunting like on a boat during the water, do you know what he'll do?
He will fish.
He certainly will.
Doing jokes about fishing because his name's Fish. Yeah. So
He's a big lad, him.
is he? Huh?
Did you not see him?
He gets up, does he? Like a salmon. Where's it? What division is he? Centre mid.
I know absolutely nothing about Will Fish.
I've never even seen his face.
There's a boy left back for the under 23s. Fernandez came from Real. Looks really top quality.
You sure it's not Bruno? Just getting more
It's
game
not.
time in.
Not Bruno, and he's got like a full on Cavani, like long hair, but he looks very promising. We actually we got one from Real Madrid, and there was one from Barca, but I haven't seen much about the one from Barca. I actually don't even know his name now. If I heard it, I would remember it. Maybe somebody knew it in the chat knows. Aaron talks about the starting lineup for Wednesday. We'll get into that very shortly. Santiago says Leicester buckling top four in the last game back-to-back seasons now. Is that not like 3 out of 4 seasons they've done it? 3 out of the last 4. But they're probably just loving life with the cup win.
Oh, fuck you.
Big Willie Fizzler whips it out. Whips the ball out. So he does.
Does he?
Look at him like, no. Long throw in. Probably the last action of the game. I think that was Big Willie Fizzle sorts it out. No, it was Brandon.
And we got a win. Well done, the lads.
Great result.
Got a win.
Great result.
You're meant to fist pump me back. It's the first one we've had in bloody ages. Not that it mattered.
When was the last win that we witnessed that actually mattered?
Aston Villa 3-1.
But did it matter?
It did matter because there was because there was pressure on the second place at that point. I think that was the game. I think that was actually the game that might have solidified top 4, was it?
But I don't think it counts as mattering.
If you win
I
that,
don't think we were like,
no, but it confirmed top 4, so it did have meaning to it.
Let's address Aaron's comment. Starting lineup for Wednesday.
Right, here's what I want. Right,
11 Lindelofs,
Dave and Nets, the Spider, Shaw.
Yep.
Maguire's not fit.
He's not playing.
He's not fit. So I want Bailly and Lindelof.
Yep.
I want the pivot. And I want Bruno in front of the pivot. I want Marcus on the left. I want Greenwood on the right. And I want
the pivot?
Fred and McTominay. And I want Cavani up front. But if Ollie wants to do something ballsy and he wants to replace Fred and McTominay, who are apparently both actually injury doubts as well, slight niggles. But if he wants to bring in Donny to replace one of them, I'm behind that. But all I care about is actually it being of course a win. But I want it to be exciting. I want us to be sitting here in a Wednesday night European final. We're going to have a few beers.
Do you want to hear my team?
Hang on, I'm going to have a few beers.
Oh, what? Do you want to hear my team? Dave.
Be serious about it. Don't talk about them.
100% serious.
Right, okay.
100% serious. Dave.
Yep.
Aaron. Aaron Wan-Bissaka right back.
Yep.
Bailly and Lindelof centre back. Although I wouldn't be upset with Tuanzebe and Lindelof. Shaw.
Lindelof definitely plays, though, right?
Oh, 100%. He has to play, especially against the Spanish opposition. I would like to see Pogba and Fred as the two CMs.
Interesting.
I'd like to see Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right,
Bruno Cavani,
Fernandez up the middle, and Cavani up top. Take the game.
I don't know how I forgot about Paul. How did I?
Did you not play Paul?
I don't think so.
I thought you played him on the left.
Forgot all about him. No, I played Marcus on the left.
Shocking.
Yeah, we'll go for your team.
Yeah, go for my team.
Yes. That'd be a great team, actually. In fact, Ollie, if you're watching, that'd be a great team.
Yeah. I'm really 50-50 on Axel or Eric. I don't know who I prefer because
Well, obviously,
I think Eric is too reckless for a final.
but both playing today gives you no clues, like, you know. So
No, but with the two of them, I think Axel might be better under pressure. He might not do something reckless.
if Axel could guarantee us
PSG, yeah.
a PSG a performance,
I think
he'd be the first name on the bloody team sheet.
for my own heart's sake, I would rather see Twanzebe be starting by.
Hmm. We'll try and be here for 6:30, will
Kickoff's at 8.
we? Aye. So we'll be there for
Kickoff's at
4.
6:30. Kickoff's at 6:30, so you'd be here for 5.
4. In fact, we could do a full breakfast build up the whole way through the day. I could take a day off. Would
Yep.
you take a day off?
Certainly.
Imagine sitting here from
5-0.
8 to 10. Perfect.
Where did Everton finish? Want to see the league? Leeds 3-1.
Remember Everton were going to win the league?
Leeds were kicking the plums off it, weren't they?
Leeds done exceptionally well this season. Fair play to them. Patrick Bamford scored again today, I think.
But
So
did they not have an opportunity to get some sort of European football today?
no.
I think I seen somebody said like if this happens, and they win
No,
20-0 or
I
something.
don't think so. Yeah, well, no, then yeah. Villa, fair play to Villa.
Leicester rightly flopped that. Were they 2-0 up?
Apparently it was tighter than it looks like.
No, but were they not 2-0 up? Or am I making?
No, it was
2-1 up.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 2-0?
No,
Could be wrong.
no, it wasn't. It was never. It was never 2-0. There
There's
you are.
the final table.
12 points behind City in second. I did not think that would happen at the start of the season. I thought we'd be scrambling about 4th or 5th, legitimately.
Do we forget that the start of the season City had?
Yeah.
A certain person that I know that is a City fan was calling for Pep to be sacked.
Pep said,
Yeah, at the start of the season.
Yeah. Wolves 13th. That's bad season for them.
Tis.
Oh, round that back so we can see Leeds. I want to see where Leeds are. I missed it.
What about Newcastle? How did they finish? Oh, was you bacon? Did you see? I don't think if I was a Bulls fan, I'd go to this game.
Of course, you'd go to this game. Go to United game. You haven't been to the stadium in over a
It's
year.
not really United.
If we were Wolves fans,
I'm busting to go and see us play Wolfish.
We'd be on the pitch. We'd be pitch invading, getting there.
I don't know. Depends how far you are away from.
Do you reckon you'll be allowed to go to a game next season?
Don't know.
Is Bird allowed to go to a game next season?
Ask the
That's not too promising.
The passport
Office.
office.
Imagine we had to go and watch a game in a pint office as well.
I might actually, if you weren't allowed to go, I might swim the United game.
Right, so Nuno, right?
That's very cringy to me.
Oh no, come on, give him their moment. But Nuno, surely the Tottenham job is where he's going, right?
Would you want them as a Spurs fan?
I think Spurs would take anybody right now. I think Spurs would take bloody Sam Allardyce.
You know what?
No disrespect to Sam Allardyce.
If I was a Spurs fan, I would like him, but I would be hesitant in the fact that he probably needs 2-3 seasons.
Anybody's going to need that now, I think. Because Kane's away, so it's a rebuilding squad with that money. A rebuilding project with that money, surely.
But I think his ethos is so narrow that he probably needs more longer than most. I think Spurs need somebody that can go straight in, like the likes of a Tuchel that'll go in and immediately imprint their design. I think his philosophy of football requires a lot more time to settle in, especially if Kane does leave. There's a lot of turbulence there. Although, as you say, probably now is a good time to do it. Say for example, Ollie retired. Right, he just said, right, fair enough, I'm away. Would you take him at United?
No.
Why?
He's not a good enough manager.
He's good enough for Spurs.
Yeah.
Not for us.
No.
But Ollie's good enough for us.
Yes.
So you're saying Ollie's better than Nuno?
Yes.
I think Nuno, give Nuno the same amount of time with this squad, I think he probably gets better results.
But is it surely he is going to Tottenham? It's far too coincidental. Surely that he packs it in.
Aaron with a couple of interesting points. He says, "I'm in."
Right.
He also says, "Message retracted."
In the house, is he?
I think he's referring to Wednesday.
Oh,
I don't think he's got the mins.
he wouldn't have the
I
men's, would
don't
he?
think he's got the
You know
mins.
what he's like? He's all farting no shit, isn't he?
He's all talking, no mins. He also says, "Hear me out, Nuno was next Barca manager." Is a good shout.
No, come on.
I think his style of play would work out quite well. Well, this is very strange scenes.
But it's their manager's last game, so they're
Yeah,
giving him a guard of honor. Why is that strange?
but it's just the manner of his departure.
Could he's going to a bigger club?
It's not like he's. But is it though? It'd be different if they finish like sixth or even eighth. Like if they finished strong and he was leaving, but it was a very poor season from them all season long.
Well, he has got international experience as well because he's basically managing Portugal too. So he's got Wolves and Portugal.
But it's more it's too celebratory for such a poor season. Like it's much worse than their season last year.
Okay, yeah, but that was the last season was their second season in the league, and like to be like you can't. Well,
But
it's been a poor season based on
that's my
last season.
point. It's too celebratory for the
No,
the
but they're not.
fashion
They're
of
not. They're
the
not.
departure.
Yeah, but they're celebrating his whole tenure, which was fantastic.
Yeah, of course. I'm not putting any detriment on that. It's just a very strange. And look at that now. We walking down. It's nice scenes. I suppose if as a Wolves fan, I'd probably feel the same. But from as an outsider, looks a wee bit strange. I can't wait for he comes back down the tunnel and throws Jazzy Jeff out.
Who's Jazzy Jeff?
You don't get the reference?
No.
Oh, for flip's sake. Aaron, tell this fool who Jazzy Jeff is.
Do you reckon Aaron would have the balls to come and make his first appearance on United Fan TV on Wednesday?
I don't have a wide enough lens.
She loved that one. That one. Oh. What about you? What about your joke at the wedding? But you're opening line. Here, folks need to address the elephant in the room. All right, Aaron.
And do you know what?
Very mean, Birdley.
I had never heard that joke made before, and you also didn't. You said to me when I was telling you about it, you were like, "Fuck, I've never heard that before." I've heard it like 4 times.
That's not that many times.
No, since then.
At weddings?
No, just like jokes. Like,
Well, 4 times here in a saying in what, 2 years? It's your anniversary soon. Have you got her a present?
yeah, me.
Or a consistent present?
Aaron says he's a fantastic manager, perfect tactics for Barca, and he's built a tram with no money. Aaron, you need to proofread these messages.
I might hear that's no mean feat. Like if you
You
can
build
build a
anything
tram
with no money,
with
you know
no
what?
money, a tram though,
Mhm.
a bloody
First
tram.
one there.
There's a tram, right enough. If you can build a tram with no money, you're doing rightly.
It should probably have been focusing on winning games for Wolves this year instead of
Building trams.
building trams on the cheap. But
On
and
a
sure,
budget.
Barca have no dough. It's good shit.
Barca have no dough is
Should they have sold Messi last year and had the chance?
I honestly can't think of very little things to care less about. I don't like Barcelona. I don't care if they're skint.
Surely,
And are they
surely
actually
it's
skint?
surely it's an interesting question for a football fan to
I
talk
don't
about.
know.
It's easy to say in hindsight now, but was it possibly the wrong decision in hindsight to keep him?
Well, he was going on a free, wasn't he?
His wage is not like $1.5 million a week or something.
You would see the Barca having no money thing. I'd like to know what really is going on there because at the end of the day, like, are they still keeping the lights on? Like, I
Well, it's like United. United took out a 60 million loan to pay the bloody electricity bills.
but is that actually legit though, or is that just them being smart with the grants and the funds? And is there some sort of accounting situation going on there? Because, like,
No, they're just taking high dividends and letting the club pay for itself. And when the club can't pay for itself, they take a loan and put it on top of the club's stuff.
yeah,
Anyway.
but that isn't a reflection on the liquid cash that they can get access to. So therefore, it's irrelevant, really.
No, not at all, because they are refusing to use that liquid cash. They're rather build up more credit and more debt against the club rather than take a hit to their
yes,
their
but
pockets.
that doesn't mean that United are
Look
worth
at
less or
bloody
can't.
ESL Downey here.
No, I'm
You
just saying. No,
defend them
but no,
again.
if you own a business and it is a business, you know, like if you be really cold hearted about it, like you can understand why they're doing that. And I don't agree with it. What I'm saying is like we can still spend 150 million pound this summer, regardless of having to uh, borrow money. We're not really borrowing money. We're leveraging money, and we're looking at interest, and we're like it's just smart accounting. But
Why is the stadium leaking?
all those things are good
Did you
points. No,
see? Did
uh,
you see the video of Cavani signing his contract extension?
no.
The table that he was signing is like they were doing the video and stuff. It
Mm.
was like it was all like chipped paint and all on it. It wasn't like a nice table, whatever. It wasn't like a nice area. Like things weren't. And your woman's case was Casey
That's something that needs to be looked into a lot more.
Stoney left going.
That's a proper problem.
They
The
they had
stadium.
the they were literally renting portaloos for the women's team
Mm,
instead of like building the facilities for them.
mm.
Like and let
Yeah, that's terrible.
hate to
No,
talk about it, but City are showing you how to do it, how
yeah,
to build a legacy out of nothing.
yeah, no. Like all those things are correct. What I'm saying is that loan, though, we shouldn't worry about that loan.
You should worry about that
It's
one.
irrelevant. It's
It's
completely.
not irrelevant
It
at all.
is because it's like if I took a loan at my business, that isn't because I can't afford to pay when I'm getting a loan for it. It's because I'd rather pay with. I'd rather it could actually be due to needing more liquid cash for transfer. We don't know anything about the reasons behind that loan. It's easy to say, oh, they're taking a loan because they can't afford. Of course, they can afford to fix the stadium. Of course, they can afford the facilities. This have chosen not to.
They are the only, or I don't think it's the only, but in terms of actual real, like a solid amount, they're the only owners of Premier League clubs that has done it in the last 4 or 5 years, have taken dividends out of their club,
Hmm.
where the rest are investing.
No, no, that's up to them. Whatever, right? But them taking 60, you shouldn't go. Oh, they're taking 60 million loan. That means we are snookered money wise. It doesn't mean that.
Nobody said that.
Then what's the point in even discussing it? What's the meaning? But like, what is your point raising that they're taking 60 million? They're taking a 60 million pound loan to pay for the electric. That's not true.
Because rather than taking 100+ million dividends out, they're taking loans out to ensure that they can still take the money out that they want to take out
Yeah,
and just do whatever they need to do to keep the club going based on the credit that the club can get,
hmm.
not based off their own acumen.
But that's nothing to do with the club's affordability, or that's not saying that they if
What do you mean
without
affordability?
no, it's because of course they if they decide tonight they want to fix the stadium, if they want to do the women's facilities and do the transfers, of course they can do it.
Of course, yeah.
It's just how they're what they're doing with the money. It's not it doesn't really affect us at all. Like it, like here now, like it's
Of course it does.
no because what are they took a loan, so what? Doesn't matter.
Obviously, they're not investing to the point where the football matters mean anything to them, where the squad won't be strengthened to the point where they're going to invest money to strengthen the football matters. All they're going to do is put the bare minimum in.
No, well the proof's in the it will be in the pudding in 3 months time.
Right. Well, look at the pudding we've had over the last couple of years,
No, but
and
it's
look at the squad that we've got. We've
but
got 11 good
it's
players, and the rest of it is puddings.
no, but like it's no. I agree with everything you're saying. What I'm saying is that loan is irrelevant
It's
because that
not
no, the
irrelevant.
physical loan is irrelevant.
It's not
Of
irrelevant.
course, it is.
It's not. It's a sign. It's another example of the fact that they're not investing in the club. They're letting the club trundle along while they continue to make their money out of it, which is not what's happening with the rest of the clubs.
But
And
again, do we know that?
we do know that.
Do we know what goes on in other clubs?
Yes, because they're the only people taking money out of the club in the whole Premier League.
Is that
And
because
they're
they're the
taking
maybe?
loans
Is that
to
maybe?
cover running costs
Is
and
that?
still taking those dividends.
But is that maybe because is there an argument to be made that that's because they're the only owners in the position to, other than say Sheikh
No,
Mansour who doesn't need to?
no, not at all.
Hmm.
You mean to say the Glazers are the only owners in the Premier League that are capable of taking dividends out of the club?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
One,
I'm just saying. I just don't know.
one, it's not true, and two, given the fact that they bought the club and immediately plunged into debt in order for it to run itself, for them to use it as a cash cow, tells you that was their baby all along, and the ESL was the zenith of their all of their ideas, which is why I'm somewhat positive that there may be, and it's possibly wishful thinking, but they may be in a position now where they go flip. Well, that was our master stroke we've been looking for 10 years or more. It's been immediately batted down in a matter of days. Maybe we just cut our losses and go invest our money elsewhere that's more profitable.
Hopefully that is the case. But I'm just what I focus on is the actual result of what we get, and I'll come on and slabber about the Glazers and about their loans and about taking money out and dividends if they don't invest in the squad in the summer.
But they haven't.
But yeah, but they actually have.
They haven't from they come in. Sir Alex, like every summer, was at a bringing in a net profit from transfers. Sure, who was it? Ronaldo went. Obviously, it's the easy one to talk about. Ronaldo went. Who did we bring in?
Obertan.
Bloody Gabriel Obertan, who went to Newcastle.
Hmm.
Valencia was brought in from Wigan. Was it Wigan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, they spent
Played right wing.
80 million on Maguire, and they spent 65 on or something on Bruno, and they spent 45 and done a bit
Okay,
the bit. Like
but
it's kind of like
you need to consider the net spend because we sold Lukaku for 65 million,
75, wasn't it?
something like that.
Yeah, no, and all I'm saying is at the minute, I have bigger problems with the Glazers than them taking that loan. All I care about is if you
Who said that? Well, it was great cross and great header by the way, that first
it
goal.
was a good one, we fucking missed it as well. If they don't invest in the squad, I'll look back on that loan and go, "How dare you?" If they're taking out a loan for whatever reason, I don't really care what they do as long as they're not doing it to the detriment of the club. That's
But that loan is to the detriment.
But
of the club.
how do you know? We don't know the purpose, the method. We don't know why. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
We
We
do
don't, we
know
don't
why.
know what's going to happen.
We do know why, for one simple reason. They're taking huge dividends out of the club
What this week?
every year,
Well,
year on
no,
year,
no,
millions,
we don't know.
millions, and
We
millions.
don't know. We won't know for a while.
We do know that because they're floated on the stock market, and these records are accessible.
Right. So you're saying that you have evidence that they have taken a dividend based on that loan.
They've consistently taken
Right. So they haven't taken a dividend since that loan.
Not based on the loan.
So
But
you're surmising that it might be to take a dividend out.
no, the fact that they are doing that and at the same time taking loans to cover running costs shows you what their
No, but
priorities
they
are.
haven't took. Last time they took dividends was a year ago. So this is a brand new loan. Could be totally isolated and different.
When was this loan?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
So nobody knows anything. When was it? When was the day? We see
No,
all.
you
see,
said
see
this.
all,
You said this is a brand new loan. You don't know when the loan was.
Well, I'm assuming it is because you're only talking about it now.
But
It's only come out on the fan channels
No,
and on Sky Sports like the last 2 weeks.
No, it hasn't only just come out. It's been talked about again. It's been brought up again. It hasn't only just come out.
Right, well, the point is,
And regardless of when it
we
happens.
will never know and understand the actual economics behind what's happening in the club unless you are an accountant who is privy to the information behind the scenes. You can't actually stand over and say that's for that and that's for that and that's for that. You have a good idea as to what it's for, but the proof is you see if we get the signings we need.
This is a wild opinion.
No, if we get the signings we need in the summer,
anything.
I couldn't give a shit what they do with their money.
This is worse than anything I've ever said.
No.
Whether we're trying to be reckless
it's
or
really
not.
simple. It's been able to have the humility to say, I'm not going to follow what everybody's saying on Stephen Paddock and Ned Stand. I'm going to say we don't know enough behind the scenes. So what I'm going to say is, if they get me the signings I want, I'm not that bothered with what they're doing with their business.
And you're what's wrong with the club.
No,
your fandom is what's wrong.
So you think we'll get owners who'll come in and never take money out of the club?
Who knows what you're going to get?
Exactly. So it's kind of like this is what we have at the minute. There's no point talking about loans.
So if you're a Newcastle fan, do you want Mike Ashley out?
I don't know anything about Mike Ashley. I don't know anything about that. I know that they don't like him. And I know that he's a bit of a
somebody who
charlatan.
doesn't know anything about the owners of clubs. You seem to have a very strong opinion on it.
No, what I'm saying is you're bringing up loans. Like this is how a business works. You will take loans to leverage money to allow you to put money elsewhere.
It wouldn't be a topic of discussion if they weren't taking huge dividends out and if they weren't the only club doing it. That's what makes it a topic of discussion.
But are the only club doing it in Europe or the only club doing it in Premier League? Is that factual?
As far as I know, in the Premier League.
Well, but if they get us the players, like it doesn't actually affect us.
But it does, because you're the exact what you're saying now is why they get away with it, because it's just, oh, we'll get you a player who gets Sancho 70 million. You're like, we're saving 30 million on last year.
What do you want the money in the club for then?
Investing.
In what?
In the squad.
Right.
In the stadium.
Right.
In the background staff.
Right.
In bloody actual toilets instead of portaloos for the women's team. For anything,
That-
invest
That's
in
what
the
that's
club.
what, that's what I'm talking.
Not
That's what I'm
don't
sorry.
bleed
That's
and
what I'm.
suck the
That's
club dry
that's
of
that's what I mean.
everything. There's
United,
asset
no,
stripping.
no, I know.
They are
I don't. I don't.
actually liquidizing Man United Football Club. They're liquidizing it and withdrawing everything they can until they're forced to leave, and they have done for 16 years now.
Well, then we're going the right direction. Then.
But no, we're not, because we've got fans out there like you.
No, I'm
that
not.
go,
No,
as
no,
long as they invest in the club, I don't really care
no,
what they do.
no. That's exactly it. If they invest in, I don't
Exactly.
mean the players. I mean if they put the money is in the stadium's top notch, all the stuff top. I get all. If
The
they get,
stadium is not top notch.
no, I know it's not. I'm saying at the end of the season, with the start of the new season, if the stadium is still fucking leaking and there's still no,
right,
I don't
but
give a shit what they do.
do you think if they're going to take a loan out to cover running costs, they're going to invest capital in improving the stadium and the facilities?
No, that's because we don't know if they needed that loan. We don't know what the loan's for. We don't know why the loan was taken out. So we don't know the economics behind that move.
Right. What's the economics behind taking a loan and at the same time taking huge dividends larger than the loan?
Because they'll have loads of different business entities, they'll have loads of different businesses, right? And they'll be maybe moving money from one place to
Okay.
another and sort of
But
for a big transfer window or for a big investment.
What does that tell you about
It's
how important Man United are to them, and therefore
But
how
it-
they treat it,
but
and therefore
it's-
how
no,
that
we don't. It's
that
like
trickles down.
the
to
biggest
us.
point is we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, so we can't comment. We can surmise what we think it might be based on previous track record,
No, you
but
can
based on
see-
that loan, you can't just go right. They're taking. It's like you taking a loan to buy a
Right.
car, right?
Forget about the we don't know and what if,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, right,
They've taken a loan. Fact.
right,
They're taking dividends at the same time, larger than the loan. Fact.
right.
The only club to do it.
How much dividends did they take?
I think there's 4 or 5 of them, and I think they took 20 million on each. I don't know exactly. I'm not that. If I was prepared for this conversation,
So Saver talks like they took 100 million and they took a loan of 60 million.
Yeah.
Right.
What does that tell you?
It tells you they've
And
taken dividends and they've taken a loan.
with the backdrop of they're the only Premier League club to do it for year after year after year.
What did they take last year? Did the teams last year take more than that? Did we know?
No. I just said to you, for year after year, no other club's taking it, but they are.
Right. So
and
is that
at the same time taking loans to cover running costs?
but yeah, so yeah, that doesn't look good. But what you're saying, what we don't know, well, of course, like you can't just be like that's a fact. That's what it. What I'm saying, we don't know why they're doing that. They might not be this all evil scumbaggery thing. They might be going right. If we can take a loan for this money,
Mark,
if we can look at this and this,
we physically seen very recently the manifestation of their plans of what they've done from the club. They tried to destroy the history and legacy of this club for their own financial gain with the ESL.
But so did the other 5 clubs.
100, yeah.
So,
What's
but
your
they're brilliant. 'Cause they're not taking dividends and they're not taking loans, so they're brilliant.
Who said they were brilliant?
No, I'm just saying, like it's. But the ESL's a problem. I get that, right? What I'm saying is, we cannot stand and can with conviction go. They've taken that loan, so they're doing because
Yes, we can.
It looks like it could be like that.
No, historically we can.
No,
because they've been the owners of the club for 16 years. We have seen the club fall into disrepair. The financial records are public because they're on the stock market. We can see these things happen.
So,
we can see them manipulating the market with the stock prices going up and down. We've seen how badly the bad news has affected the stock price and as to why they so quickly pulled out of the ESL because of how badly the stock market was affected. And they seen the advertisers of Liverpool pulled out. Like, was it the day after the ESL was announced? There was sponsorships and companies pulling out of partnerships with them. They seen that and they didn't go, oh, here, we never thought about, the real sanctity of the football pyramid.
Everybody's on the same page there. Everyone knows that. That's those points are all there.
Okay, so that is a huge example to show you what their plans are for the club.
So do you think that they're going to let the stadium fall down? Do you think they're going to not invest in players?
They are,
and do you think they're going to just never invest in the women's team?
They are and have been.
No, but of course they will, because they sort
of
have to.
Have been neglecting these things.
Yeah, well, maybe they've got plans to do it next week. Maybe the stadium's going to get a massive renovation before the start of next season.
I'm just waiting for you to do this.
No, I'm playing devil's advocate to say yes, they're not good owners, right? But this loan, we can't get hung up on this loan thing.
You're getting hung up on it.
No, it's your biggest point.
No, it's not.
Which is, they're taking a loan, so they're scumbags. It's like,
Is that what I
no,
said?
it's you're
Not
talking
what I
about
said.
running costs. I'm saying
Somebody clip this up.
it could actually be good news that they've taken that loan because they might be getting money in cash and liquid cash assets ready for a massive summer budget. For all we know,
Do you not know what they did
forget about. I'm talking about here and now.
with their
We don't
American
know.
football
We
team?
don't know what's going. Haven't got a notion.
Well, they
Haven't
invested
got
a
a
lot of
clue.
money and got the best ever American footballer in the history of American football last year.
Yeah.
So they invested there.
So maybe they've said,
What did they do with United?
well, yeah, they didn't invest in us
Oh,
last season.
exactly.
No, but
There you go.
that doesn't. That's not saying that they've taken this loan to do running costs. So therefore, the stadium's going to fall down, and it's not the right way of going about
No.
things. And they probably should be smarter than
No,
to let us see it.
you're making my argument for me. At no point did I say they're doing this and therefore the stadium's going to fall down. I'm saying they're doing this. It has been shown for 16 years now that they're not investing in the club. They're liquidizing the club. They're trying to do it slowly but surely. They've liquidized the club to the point where there's repairs on the actual, like the roofs are leaking. It's to that degree.
Yeah, and to
the
play devil's advocate,
they just
what
started the ladies team last year, and they got possibly one of the best female managers who in recent weeks walked out of the club because of how neglected they've been, to the point where they have rented portaloos to go to the toilets.
yeah, that's grim like that.
That's
That's grim.
all across the boards what's happened. It's happened for 16 years. Fergie had done, we said it at the time, Fergie did miracles with the squad that he had because he wasn't getting invested. This whole there's no value in the market nonsense when Vincent Company went to City for 6 million.
He was actually
Utter
company was actually
nonsense.
on Fergie's shortlist, and he went for Village instead.
No value in the market.
Hmm.
On all these things are happening. He wasn't saying that because there was no value in the market. What a load of plums. As if Fergie was ever worried about value in the market.
Mm.
Constant record broken. Ferdinand record broken. Rooney record broken. Like as if he was ever concerned about it. And all of a sudden, year after they come in, there's no value in the market. We'll replace Ronaldo, who we've just sold for 80 million. We'll replace him with Valencia, Michael Owen on a free, Gabriel Obertan.
But they're still buying big players and spending a lot of money, as well.
Yeah.
But
they're also selling players and they're also skimming.
Yeah.
They're also taking huge dividends. The only club to do so.
Yeah, but what my point was, the whole thing is, you can't look at a loan and go right. Therefore, then that's
talking about the loan.
But that's where they started from. This is talking about you made the point about loan. I was like, well, a loan doesn't necessarily mean.
I made one point about the loan.
Yeah, and that's how we get into this.
No,
because I said a loan isn't necessarily. It's not just like what I was basically saying was that they couldn't. It was kind of positioned where I was defending the club in the sense that because they've taken a loan doesn't mean that they can't afford the repairs or afford the running costs.
Did I say that?
But that's where what it sounded like it was positioned.
No, I said the fact that they're taking a loan to cover running costs while at the same time taking larger dividends into their own pockets tells you all you need to know about their plans for this club. On the backdrop of the fact that over the last 16 years they haven't invested in the club to the point where the stadium's leaking, managers are walking out because the infrastructure of the club has got to the point where it has, to the point where they outwardly come out and said, right, we're leaving the Premier League because look at this, look at all this money we can make and we can never be relegated, by the way. Let's go up the top and fully Americanize it all. All run by the American owners and that Don scumbag who seems to have also run Real Madrid into the ground and is looking a big payday and looking to make himself out to be the big cheese. But unfortunately for them, they neglected to really realize the power of the fans.
And they're still in that too, aren't they, partner?
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious in itself. But I'm confident that United's going to get their wee leaks fixed. And I'm confident it's going to be a good window.
Why haven't they done it?
When
was the last time the capacity was increased?
Maybe they've delayed it because there's no fans in.
When was the last time the capacity was increased?
Oh,
delayed it, but for 16 years. Yeah.
So it's been leaking for 16 years?
Yes.
It's been leaking for 16 years.
I don't know when the leak started. It's unfair to put that on me. But the very fact that it's been it should have leaked once, and one of the groundsmen went, "That's a leak. Tell the Glazers we need a ground there to fix that wee leak." We probably went to the Glazers. Yes, see the disabled fans that you've for some reason put in a weird place. Right above them, the stadium's leaking when it rains, so they're wearing ponchos and stuff. Is there any chance they could maybe just get a wee couple of pennies there just to fix it up?
Mm.
Glazers go,
See, this league thing only really heard about like this season. Like
no,
I've
it's,
never really heard
I've
about it.
heard of it for years.
It's kind of
Anyway,
like,
which says
well,
no matter the reason, Mark, United as a club are now in more debt now since they've taken over. You should really be self sufficient. You're big enough to be. Yes. So they plunged the club into 400 million of debt, and that debt has increased. They haven't paid off the debt.
so how did it actually all work then? So
Now, me, I'm a complete philistine on these things. I don't
see, and
know. I
that's
don't
why
know.
I'm saying we
I don't
just
know
don't know.
specifically, but it's factual. They put the club onto the stock market, so the records are available. If you want to go and see them, you can see them. They bought the club. It's very easy to say they bought the club on debt, but that's is in fact what they did. They basically what they did was, and again, I can't be 1,000,000% on this, but I've heard people talking about it. Is basically what they did is they made deals with the banks to say, right, we have this, and this to sort of as sort of a guarantee as to what we're doing. If things go breasts up, you take the club.
Hmm.
So you can do what you want. You take the club off us. But if things go all right and we pay the interest bills, you just let us do what we want to do. And that's the way it's been up to this point.
And does that negatively affect the club long term? Like like is there a D-Day scenario? I don't think so.
Here's how it negatively affects the club. Compare them to City.
But that's a bit different because he's a trillionaire. Like
Compare them to Liverpool.
that's probably a better one.
Compare them to Chelsea.
Trillionaire again.
Compare them to Arsenal.
Arsenal is probably Arsenal and Liverpool probably
Compare them to Tottenham.
yeah.
Compare them to
So, right.
Leicester.
So what are we talking about then?
Compare them to Leicester.
Right, we're comparing that to that. So what is it?
So if you get so the ones that you agreed with there, forget about the millionaires. If you transpose them, are we in a better position? If we have the Leicester owners, what do you think happens? Do you think we have leaks? Do you think we have managers walking out?
I don't know.
Do you think we have de-investment in the squad? No, we don't.
No, what, no,
Do you know?
what
Do you
I'm
know what
talking
Leicester
about is
have? Leicester have a good manager or a good owner who we see last week celebrating with the players, holding up the cup with the players on the pitch. A great relationship, an ownership that cares about the club that they've bought. We have the opposite of that,
no,
and it's only going to get
it
worse.
was great to see that and all, but then you have to play devil's advocate once again. It's like, would your man have wanted to get would he have went for the Super League if he was offered? Would would
But
there
this isn't
like
just about the Super League.
is it
It's not just about it.
do we know like I just think the majority of them are just scum. But that's just unfortunate. That's the way it is because you have to sort of be like that to have that sort of money, and it's a mugs game on the football club as well. So it's kind of like
Majority as you say, the majority of them are scum, and it takes a special sort of scumbag to be the worst of the lot, and that's what the Glazers are.
But are the Glazers worse than Lexa actually? Are
Yes.
they worse than who else is crap?
Well, all six of them,
What about Cronky? He's been getting a big
all six of
terrible
them,
thing.
all six of them are crap. Like you say, they're all scumbags.
No, Mansour's not crap. No, from a Man City perspective, he's not. Just
Well,
money, 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 money. There's all your training. There's all your
there's such
community.
thing.
There's all your team. There's your women's team. There's your all. There's your youth thing. Just see all the money. It's all in the bag. Just use crack on. Do what you need to do. That's a good owner.
But you get there's all what you can say. Talk about the sports washing.
No, forget it. No, no, forget about the negativity around what that means politically or what it means in any other way. I'm talking about pure football. Man City, it's a bottomless pit of money. The owners, so therefore they don't hold back. They invest. They do this, so they don't need dividends. They don't want them. Don't. They wouldn't even be a drop in the ocean. Wouldn't touch the size of their wealth. So why would they? Just it's a toy.
What's your
Same as
point?
Abramovich.
What's your point?
Man City have got great owners in the grand scale of things.
You can't, but not really, because you can't ignore that
You know what?
the ethical side of it.
Right. So you're telling me if the Glazers were trillionaires and they were putting all the money into us and we had all this and that and we were winning everything and at every single turn we were getting all the money, no dividends, no loans. We don't want to do a loan and piss you off, no nothing, just all the money coming through. But there's a negative thing politically. Would you be like, ethically, I think this is terrible for us? You'd be like, crack on, make hay when the sun shines. You'd be just loving it. So I'm talking about from the football
Yeah,
fans'
basically,
perspective.
you're
Perfect.
asking. Basically, what you're asking me is, would I swap the Glazers for Sheikh Mansour?
Of course you would.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're good owners, and you're saying that they
I
might not
wouldn't
be.
say
Of
they're good owners, but
course they're good owners.
no, I would say
They are the epitome of good owners.
in football terms,
Yes.
they are the least bad of the six.
They're the best.
But if you bring in ethics to it, it makes it a bit more questionable. But as a like a more selfish view of it, you can easily just say, yeah, I'd rather have Sheikh Mansour over the Glazers because they're going to invest in the club, they're going to invest in the squad. We're going to see better results on the pitch because of it. But you've always got that in the background. But most people are going to be like, well, if it's going to be somebody, may as well be somebody that leads that we end up getting silver out of.
See that's kind of where I am a wee bit, where it's like if they bleed the club's still the club, right? So they're taking the debt against the club. So whoever, so if
No, they're not
it,
taking the debt
it
when they're taking the dividends. They're not taking the debt. They're letting the club pay for itself while taking out as much as they can.
so
They're
what I'm
liquidizing it.
yeah,
They're not putting a penny in
so
that they
what I'm
won't
trying
see
to
back.
say, what I'm basically saying is if they were to sell, right,
You
from this point,
you've invested more money in United than they have.
I don't think that's true.
It is true.
How much money have I invested in them
Have you bought a match ticket?
since
Have you
they've come
bought a
in?
program?
Oh,
You've invested more than they have.
so it's net. They've taken more money out.
Yes.
That's not good,
The
Brute.
club wasn't in debt when they bought the club.
That's not good. That's not good, Brute. Here, he's on to something here. What I'm saying is, say the Glazers were to sell tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on all the dividends and the negative net spend and all this here and all, like, what does it actually mean for United? Is it worth less? Like, if somebody was to like, if they were to exit tomorrow, well,
Go ahead.
that's just nice
No, it's not.
facts. I like it.
It's weird.
I think that's nice. He's talking about
Just keep
that.
going.
So the Glazers exit United tomorrow.
Mhm.
Do we look back on it and go, what we have still is, i.e., the club, is that been damaged? Or have they just used it as a vessel to make money, but they're not really negatively affecting the actual club?
It's been damaged in multiple ways. The first one being that it has not progressed, so it's been left behind by the others.
In footballing terms,
In football, in terms of the assets of the club, in terms of
like training
everything,
grounds and facilities and
100%.
right,
The infrastructure of the club has been damaged.
right,
So one, it has not. It has been left behind by its competitors. And
yep.
two, it has been liquidized to the point where they're basically asset stripping. So to the point where, and let's go back to this infamous loan
See
that
if you
I
see if you talk, let this for leave them alone with alone.
right. But so if they take 60 million for running costs, that has to be paid back eventually.
Yeah,
Right. So if they leave with that 60 million has to be paid off for running costs.
right,
So there you go. If they leave that just on that loan alone, they have left it in a worse position.
right,
So that basically goes back to my whole entire point at the beginning. Is if they're taking a large loan to cover running costs and at the same time taking a larger amount of dividends out year after year, all they're doing is liquidizing the club. They're taking out as much money as they can, not investing a single penny in. It would cost them, with say, it cost them 50 grand to fix any leaks in the roofs. They could do it like that. It'd be done in a week.
Hmm.
It'd be done over between the end of the season and start of next season. They don't do it because
But
what does that do for
But
them?
is it not a wee bit daft that they haven't?
Here's the thing.
Why haven't they?
When I was there last year, you can see things are getting old and they're creaking, and you see all these lovely new stadiums going up. Tottenham Stadium, the new Arsenal Stadium. But you know what's absolutely smashing, top of the range, beautiful. You think you're in the middle of Dubai. The superstore,
Uh,
the sunglasses shop,
mm,
perfect,
mm,
perfect. The terraces, shocking.
mm. No, I agree with all that. I'm just saying it's like I think you kind of sometimes have to separate yourself from worrying about that when it's so far to your control. What we actually enjoy is on the pitch, and what we actually care about properly actually is on the pitch.
No,
So
but
it's like it's kind of like
that's the thing. That's basically it's the equivalent of you saying to somebody, "Don't bother voting. What's your vote worth? It's only worth one."
no. What I'm saying, no.
That is the
What I'm
equivalent.
in the grand scale of things, I
That's
it
the perfect
no,
analogy.
but
Is
that's
that
no,
that's the perfect
but
analogy?
that's like
But what you're doing now,
what do you really care about though?
what you're doing now is basically saying to people, "Don't bother voting. It's not going to change anything. What does it really matter to
No,
you?
I'm saying do both. I'm saying uh, do what you can.
Vote, but not be arsed where your vote goes
No,
to."
no, not that, but focus on enjoying the product, which is the game and the match, and
But the product you're referring to is being negatively affected by the ownership,
which takes back to my first point, which was they can do all
like the
this
loan.
fucking about if as long as I get the players and we get the enjoyment. As long as the club isn't detrimentally affected to the point where like it
But
could be in trouble, then that's whenever
it
I'll really care.
has been, it is being, and for the foreseeable, it will be.
So you think there's a scenario where United go under?
At no point did I suggest that
No, no,
whatsoever.
I'm not saying that you suggest. I'm asking you a question. Do you think there's a scenario under the Glazers' leadership or
No,
ownership?
I think they sell up long before that happens.
So then,
What I do think happens is we get left behind. We stay like this as the other clubs are going up. We stay like this because we're not being invested in everything. Any profits just being sucked off.
but would it not? Is it not? Does it not show you confidence though that the brand deals are? What are you laughing at?
What I said.
The brand deals are sky high. They're the top. They're the best. Does that not show you that even with all of that stuff, like if there is,
So
if
we're the best at getting all these brand deals and brilliant sponsorships,
yeah,
team viewer, and all this sort of stuff.
yeah,
Why is the roof leaking?
no, but it's that's separate to what I'm saying.
It's not separate.
No, of
It's
course it is.
directly related. If the
Somebody.
club is so profitable, why is the infrastructure of
No,
the club
my
not being
point is
looked
something to
after?
do with that. My
Where's the
point,
Conference League stuff? 184 clubs from the smaller nations, seventh in
Arsenal.
Premier League, qualify for the final playoff round. So they don't even go in;
Oh
they go to
my.
playoff.
Oh no, but does this go to?
32 leagues, 32 teams in the group stage. Thursday night matches, final to be held in Tirana, Albania. Winner qualifies for the following season's Europa League.
So if Arsenal win this,
So
they could get into the Europa League the season after.
yeah. That's what I thought this was. I knew nothing about it before seeing that. That's what I thought this would be.
What? How come
Do you know what this is?
that
This is what the ESL would have been. See that? That's there would have been no leagues. There would have been Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, then Dopey League 2, and then another one.
Mm,
All mixtures of European teams. And the 12 that started it, they need to stay at the top no matter what happens.
mm.
And then the rest of them go up and down like this. So they don't really have a league. They just have the Champions League-ish stuff. They have European leagues. It just becomes all one thing.
So what do? Who's the new owners then?
We talked about this before.
What?
Do you not think that's absolutely insane that they said, right, Super League, maximum of 20 teams. 12 are confirmed. There's space for another 3. Then their other 5 will get invited each year.
Yeah,
These 12 can never be relegated.
that's terrible.
Relegated to what?
To nothing.
Why would you make a point they can't be relegated? Relegated to what?
To out of it, just
To out of it?
yeah.
To out of it?
That's what the
No,
opposite means.
that's not what relegated means.
Well,
Relegated means you go to the lower league.
no, it just means that you're not gonna not be in the league anymore. That's it.
No,
You don't need
the
you
very bottom the very bottom rung of the pyramid. If you're in the bottom league in the English pyramid, your club doesn't get binned. You're not a club anymore.
no, it's not that. It's just
You finish last in the
no.
league.
I think
No,
they're just using relegation as a term because
no, they're
it's,
not.
It's,
They're not.
it's-
Their plan was always there'd be more leagues below it.
oh well, yeah. I mean that could have been the case. Yeah, and that's what I was saying as well. That's why I took a wee second just to before I went in on the
It took about a week.
no, it took 2 days. Happened on
It
Sunday.
took 2
No,
days,
it
and
took 2 days.
you had like a ream of things that you were going to talk about, and then the news broke up that it all dissolved.
Yeah, so which is fair enough because I at the time it was like no, this cannot be the well that's not going to be a big chat, but my I just want to take a bit of time to digest it.
Unless you everything you've said here is playing devil's advocate, which it could be knowing you. But if you had truly known the knowledge that I've imparted on you about the Glazers now, you potentially would have reacted different to the news of the essay. You probably would have reacted similar to the way I reacted.
No, it's my first initial reaction. Honestly, was right, well, that's interesting. That's a new tournament to look forward to. And I was like, oh, hang on a second. Oh, right, okay.
I
This
was
is
fuming
a bit
immediately.
because I didn't do any background reading, didn't know anything
I
about
didn't
it.
either. I just knew what I knew from the very first bits of information that were coming out that this was never going to be anything good for us. I knew it immediately. I knew it in my bones, and that's why I did the video. I did.
Well, it actually would have been good for us.
Wouldn't have been good for us at all.
Well, we would have got a whole lot more money. No, but if you know, but if you think if you again to play devil's advocate for those top 6 clubs,
Do you know what it
of
would have
course it
been?
would have been good for them.
Do you know what it would have been?
It would have ruined the product,
It
ruined the
would have
league.
been tonight every week, apart from the old one. But you're supposed to get that in the Champions League anyway.
No, it would.
The spirit of competition. There was no competition tonight.
No,
It would
obviously
be
no.
it would be this type of game every week.
No, I'm talking
more or
about.
less.
No, I'm talking about the clubs would have benefited. I mean, not us.
You said we,
Well, we as in the club. But what I'm saying is,
the owners,
yeah,
not the club,
and well,
not the
but
club.
the thing that I quickly realized then was right. Hold on a second. I honestly, this could be controversial as well. I don't really give a shit about the Europa League or the Champions League.
It's the first I've seen that Tielemans goal. By the way.
What? I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. I
Oh,
missed
it was
the
a
goal.
cracker. And there was handball in the bullet too. Say the Premier League is what I really do care about. It's my favorite thing. I do like the Champions League, and I do, of course, and I like the Europa League and everything. I don't give a shit about the World Cup. I don't give a shit about the Euros. I don't give a shit about anything. The Premier League is what I care about wholeheartedly. That's what I really,
The
really
ESL
enjoy.
would have destroyed it.
I know that now, of course. But what I'm saying is, at the time, I was a bit like, well, let's hold off just to see what, because I was like, based on the initial right, here's our proposal. I was like, that can't be what it will be. As in that's only going to be a draft, because I would think there would be a lot more to it. We never got to see that. But I'm just saying.
You must have thought.
Oh no, of course,
They-
but no.
Immediately, they didn't just make this up. They've planned this for years.
No,
And the
no,
fact
because
that-
I thought we're getting drip fed information, and then it was going to, because I was like, right, first of all, well, the first thing is, what are going to have loggerheads with the Premier League? Who's going to win? There's going to be a negotiation. There's going to be something. But then when you read into it and think, well, actually, if that's what it's looking likely to be in terms of that's close to the finished product, which you've already said it wasn't, based on the different leagues and how things would go, then you're like, definitely not. But when it first flashed up, we were sitting here, and I was like, oh, and then the first reaction was, oh, we're getting to play, Juventus all the time. And you're like, I don't even want to play Juventus. I'd rather play Burnley away.
One thing I said, it was sort of off the cuff, and I think maybe now more than when I said it seems to be the case, is how that will have taken, and I think Florentino Perez said it took them 3 years of planning. 3 years of planning for 12 of Europe's top clubs, and nothing leaked. Nobody knew anything about it. What I think happened is somebody somewhere got wind of it, and they thought, right, instead of this being leaked,
Get ahead of this.
let's get ahead of this. Let's announce it. And that's why it happened on such a weird time, halfway through the United game. Apparently, Ewar we were Big Ed.
Who?
Ewar we were.
Right.
Take the D. Edward Woodward came to Ollie before the game kicked off and told him about it.
Jeez.
Like just before the game kicked off, and apparently Ollie, cut the conversation short and just said, "Listen, I don't know what you're talking about. I need to go and get my team ready." It was a scumbaggery to that level. So I think somebody got wind of it, and it was about to break, and they just thought, "Now's the time." But we're near enough ready.
But was it talked about in fan channels or in anything before?
No, nobody knew. Nobody
No.
knew anything.
But there's always been talk about a Super League.
No, the last thing that they were talking about was Project Big Picture, which
Right.
was a similar sort of thing, which also got batted down, but it never got to the point where there was 12 teams that were pulling out of the governing bodies.
Mm.
Like it never got to that
But
point.
but was there another point at I mean when it flashed up? I mean, right? Did you not think, oh, class, another tournament?
No.
Well, I didn't know anything. I was like, well, we'll take the Champions League, we'll take the Premier League, we'll take all the rest of the tournaments, we'll take the FA Cup, League Cup, Europa League, and we'll have this too. How was she grand? Sure, let's crack on.
It's different. I'm being a bit like big balls here saying what I'm saying. It's tough because the news broke midway through. We were watching a game,
Yeah,
like, and we didn't really. I think we chatted about it for like a couple
I didn't
minutes at
even
half
take
time.
any notice of it.
We were like, what's that? Right, second half, and then it got very very real after full time.
Hmm.
I think like even like the United Stand, they did their after shows, and then it took a while for even them to go, what really is going on here?
I just seen it as a totally separate thing that wouldn't affect anything other than more games. And I thought, well, people are going to learn about there being more games. It's like, and then when it's more stuff comes, I was going, oh.
They're trying they're trying to get their toes into these things, and it makes it so strange. The big push that they made towards with the ESL, they tried that 39th game where they were going to play an extra game. Like every team had to play an extra game somewhere else in the world. So like United would go and play Newcastle in Abu Dhabi or something that had no real burn on the league, but you just went and played it.
But that's just like sticking another game onto your pre-season. Like, what's the
Yeah,
big effect on that? It's not.
that's not terribly offensive.
No,
But
it's not offensive at
when you
all.
come out and you go, right, the English football pyramid is about to be decimated
But mine is
because
mine as I thought was nowhere near that. I thought this North tournament, grand.
no,
Didn't think it was going to be the Premier League going to go, oh fuck. And then when you're talking about like, well, you can't get relegated and all, when you take out jeopardy out of football, why do we give a shit about the other games today? The only simple reason was the chance that
we
Liverpool
probably
might
should have
not.
watched a different game.
Probably, but
We weren't United fan.
the chances that the chance of Liverpool not making top four was jeopardy to them, and therefore I was interested. That's what I
Right.
like.
So to finish it off,
Don't take a loan without asking Brood first,
United
and fix a roof.
were the we were the the second in command to Perez with the plans of this.
Mm.
We were the biggest of the scum in England.
What about Ed Woodward? What about him? Have you looked into that too much more about his? The
I
rumors.
would not be shocked if it's sort of rescinded and he goes, you know what, I'm not going to leave.
Be grand.
Be all right.
What about the story about him leaving because of it? As a stand against it? Don't believe that.
No, I don't believe that at all.
We Ed gets a bad. He gets a bad. He gets it tough, don't they? We Ed.
To be fair, the thing that the biggest thing that goes for him is the fact that Joel Glazer fully fronted United's decision on it. They didn't
Use him
from
as a
the
figurehead.
start go his Woodwards.
Yeah.
I said to you, like on think of the day after all the news broke, is this them using Ed as a scapegoat and saying, well, it was under the advice of him. You know, he's the one, he's the money man. He's made us all this money. He's made us all
Mm.
these deals. He convinced us this would be a good deal. So obviously it wasn't right. We were poorly advised, so we've got rid of him.
See, just one point that we'll make finally on this about the Team Viewer deal and the previous Chevrolet deal and Adidas, and hopefully we're going back to Nike soon. Is that it does not give you confidence that the fan base is still growing. We're still doing okay. We're still getting those big brand deals. So yes, you could argue that we're falling behind and we could be a lot further on. That's all obvious, and I agree with that. It's not a wee bit of like, well, if we do get rid of the Glazers, it's not as if we're at a point where we went beyond. Like it's very much we're still getting the big brand, we're still getting the big fan base, we're still getting the match day, we're still it's kind of like we still have all of the core things. If we take them out, that looking back on the damage, it can be quite quickly or in relatively short period of time be rectified based on how big the brand still is. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like they're sucking money out, but if we can dislodge them,
On that on that aspect of things, on the financial side of things, perhaps what you're
and
saying,
it only takes 2 windows to
but
transform a team as well.
but the 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 longer term identity of the club can't be recovered that easily. The very fact that Man City now are the ethically for the city of Manchester or for their immediate areas are by far and away investing more in the actual fabric of their club to the point where now they're starting to put up statues of their players and they're improving all the lands around them. Like United around Old Trafford hasn't changed. You know, hotel football, but that's got nothing to do with United.
Yeah, but you could say that like United have already done all of that previously, and they've already and they've been so
When did they
influential.
do
And
that?
Well, if you really want to, if like, United
The
are the
best the best
reason
thing
for
about
why.
the best thing about United right now, and I'm going to say the word, I have to say it, is United's history. And at the minute, it's future history. If you know what I mean. If the Glazers right now are banking on our future, when we look at this period down the line, this is going to be a dark period in United's history. Not only because of the lack of success, but because of what the owners have done. And the sooner that they're removed, or the sooner they leave, the sooner that dark period ends.
Then you go into that next thing of who takes over and what will be the difference. Anybody?
It won't be anybody worse than the Glazers if the Glazers are forcibly removed. If it's the point where the fans are able to affect the Glazers' pocket so much that it doesn't make enough sense for them to have the reputation dragged through the mud for no money. That's why the the pitch invasion, the Liverpool game, was such a big thing for the movement against them, because apparently the Glazers, when there's been protests and stuff, the Glazers didn't even really know about it. They tell their people, "I don't want to know," but they had to know because it was over the news
But what?
all throughout the
How do
world.
you think that actually affected them though in real life though? Like I can't really
They
understand.
have they have,
I know the sponsors pulling
they
out and all, but they get new ones. You know,
but
it's
will they? What sponsors want to invest? What sponsors want to start 300, 400 million, hundreds of £1 million deals with an unstable club? Well, go somewhere else. Go to a different
no,
club.
but rightly or wrongly, people will be queuing up for it.
Yeah, of course. But if there's any opportunity, it's now. And they opened up their. If you ever play like a shooting game, like, and you've got this big boss, and there's like moments where you can't do any damage to them, and then they do like this attack and you dodge it, and then they've got like an exposed chest. Now's your chance. If you're gonna do something, now's the time. Because what'll happen is it'll go long enough to the point where people forget about it. Jadon Sancho will come in. They've distracted you for long enough for them to defend themselves again. Nobody really cares about it anymore. That's what my point was with you. That fan opinion is what's wrong with the club.
No, it's kind of it's and
It's apathy.
no, but to defend my point, it's not. I'm
Your point is apathy.
no, but I'm basing that on if I don't see any major
Well,
problems,
open your eyes.
like no, as in if I don't see any detrimental, like we could get relegated, then I'm kind of like, right,
Hold on.
be
So
grand.
so it has to go from
No, it's
the
no, it's
the best,
no,
the most successful team in Premier League history to as long as we're not
no. I'm
relegated.
not saying that. I'm saying that we're looking at see all of this. The leaks in the roof don't
The point
affect
that
me,
we the point
right?
yes they do.
They don't.
Yes they do.
They don't.
Yes they
They
do.
don't. I'll wear a
Because
fucking coat.
because if they're not going to invest in something like that, they're not going to invest in the squad. The very fact that
It's such a small thing
the
that
very
it won't
fact
affect the bigger things.
have you ever heard of the broken window theory?
When the window got broke,
No, in a like a neighborhood or whatever, if a window gets broken and it gets boarded up and never repaired, it accelerates the damage that's done to the neighborhood as a whole. As in, if if this street that we're in, somebody's window smashed and nothing gets done about it, the the acceleration of things like that, of the degradation of the street, and it's proven, just goes exponentially to the point where the street all gets boarded up.
Hmm.
That's what's happening at Old Trafford. A multi-billion-dollar company,
no, I
a
think,
multi-billion-dollar
no,
brand
but it's something.
can't fix, or not
Of
can't
course, they can.
neglects to fix it because
Yeah, and
that's not what their priority
that's not
is.
good enough. But is that all I'm saying is what's if there's if I things you're talking about like the surrounding areas and about like that's important, yes. But in reality, as a United fan, I don't really care about that. I care about the football club and the football team. So what they do for the wider thing, and it's good and it's good to have and it's nice to say and nice to know and all. But what I'm saying is, I at this point I feel that it unless there's going to be dramatic nightmares going on based because of what they're doing, and there hasn't been dramatic nightmares, and there doesn't look to be dramatic nightmares. I'm sort of saying, listen, if you're gonna mess about and take the money, right? That's but we need the players, we need investment. If they
If
fixed all the stuff, right? Good team, we're winning trophies again. and they've got a good ground.
Tell me
The
this.
ground's fixed.
Tell me this:
It's all fixed.
if Fergie left the year that they bought the club, and the success ended right at that point, success continued because of Fergie.
Yeah.
That's why we've seen such a drastic fall off after he left. Fergie gave the Glazers a couple of years. If Fergie left at that point and things went right
Well,
boobs up,
he gave them fucking 10 years, didn't he?
if things went right boobs up at that point, your opinion on the Glazers would be a lot different now.
Yeah, of
It
course.
is Fergie's brilliance that bought them enough time to get themselves embedded. Now they are. And this is why it's
Yeah,
such a struggle to get them out. The
but
only way you're going to get them out is if they don't make enough money out of it anymore. So to the point where they can't take
no,
dividends.
that's fine. No, that's great, and that's whatever. Fair enough. But what I'm saying is, like, if we were sitting in 12th,
That's
it's
the
like
point.
it's like
May as
right.
well be 12th.
No,
We may as well be 12th.
no, because we're in Champions League.
We're happy now. We're going, oh, it was a good season. We're second. 12 points.
It was good based on the score.
12 points. Europa League. They're in the Champions League final. They've won the league.
No,
They
that's-
could have won a
no,
quadruple this year.
yeah, that's-
And we're sitting here going, that was a good year. It
No, it was good based
was
on
a good season.
what we actually based on expectations. It was.
Yes, exactly. Because the expectations have been lowered so drastically.
Yeah, because of the
The
squad.
expectations are drastically affected.
No, I need to get this point that I'm trying to make, which is I agree with all of that. What I'm saying is,
Rich says surely Liverpool win the league and City taking over is the nightmare.
well, City haven't taken over at all.
But they are at the minute.
No, well, they've got another many more titles.
Go pick your point
Right.
before you forget it.
Right. So the point is, you see, if the squad is top notch, winning titles, right?
If
Yeah. So no, that's what I'm focused on titles, right? My second thing would be right. Keep the academy, keep Carrington up to scratch, get all that stuff good, all the stuff behind the scenes. If we can get the women's team to fix that issue, see if all of that and the league's fixed. See if that's fixed, and we're winning, and the quality of the product is brilliant. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. See if they're taking millions and millions and millions of dividends. Fine. As long as
what do you think the odds of all those things happening are under the Glazers?
I think it's
Answer that question.
say it again.
That comes to the crux of it all. What do you think the chances of any of that happening under the Glazers?
I think there's a decent chance of quite a bit of that happening.
Why hasn't it happened to this point?
Well,
And why now, after what's happened recently, why now are they suddenly going to change their approach?
Well, they might have to.
Whilst they're taking dividends,
They might have to.
No other owners are taking dividends.
Because they might have to.
Have to for what reason?
Because of the uproar.
No, but they'll just go.
Well, then either or. I'm
The
happy
purpose
with.
for them at the club is to make money. I'm not saying that's a bad thing inherently in and of itself, but to the detriment of the club. The best way to describe it is they're trying to liquidize the club.
Is there not an argument made that they have invested in the playing team, but maybe not wisely? And is that their fault, or is that Woodward and the fact that there's no director of football? There's no. What?
That is a big fart. If you think about it's net. You say
What
they
is
spent
the net?
85 on McGuire, but not that long before you're saying 70 million with Lukaku.
Mm.
Like they bought what do you call him? Di Maria. It was a 50 something.
57.5.
Sold him for 47, so there's like a 12 million hit there.
Mm.
But they're still selling the player as they go.
Sanchez,
It was free.
massive wages, but
Maybe it's free.
it showed.
Why do you think we got Cavani?
It showed intent.
Why do you think we have Cavani?
Like it's kind of.
Why do you think we have Cavani? He was a free agent from January. We got him in the last day of the window.
No, it's a shit window. Like last window.
Why do you think that would be happening if we had the City owners or Leicester owners?
Well, definitely
or
not
the
because
other
City owners wouldn't matter. Money doesn't matter to them. So, but Leicester, they probably again. I need to go and look at the figures now.
Do you know
I'm
who?
basically saying-
And here's what we'll do. We'll answer it like this, and then we'll piss off before I get shot.
Why are you getting shot? Loud ball and chamber.
Oh,
Nightmare.
the perfect. Get the Glazers right. Easy said and done. Right. Get me in a Daniel Ek.
Come on, Spotify boy.
Yeah, a Daniel Ek. Something.
Right.
Get me in Gary Neville at the top of a giant contingent. Get me 50 plus one
Right.
and 49 of the Glazers. Let that happen.
Yep.
Get me something like that.
Right.
And if that's not possible, get me somebody who's not the Glazers.
Right.
In order to do that, Glazers out.
Yep.
And with that,
No, your Glazers should definitely be out, man.
I
But just
thought you'd be getting paid by them.
go easy on their loans. Like, no, you just never know what they're in it for.
You're off.
You're off.